Dear God, please don't let me relapse and return to the evil that men do. Father God, I pray and ask that you help me to have mercy on others the same way I would want you to have mercy on me. Father God, I also ask that you help me to be quick to forgive and slow to get angry. Amen, amen, amen. These young dudes out here don't respect shit until you put the barrel in their ear and let the text spit. I just might catch a case on my next hit, remove their whole face on some special effect shit. So show respect, Drake, or I'ma have a flashback. Digging through the dresser like fuck it, where my mask at? Then mash back with the banger and damage shit and say fuck everything I learned in anger management. Hop back on some east side Dannon shit and push a nigga's top back when I let the cannon spit. Start planning shit, premeditation. I'm in love with the streets again, rededication. Casket or cremation when I shoot you down. I was built for the smoke like a hookah lounge. I keep big shit that sound like a bazooka sound, and I shoot quicker than ain't gotta be a hoop around. Dear God, please don't let me relapse and return to the G-Ride with 3 straps. A ski mask with the case, squeezing keys apps, spraying everything from a nigga's brain to his kneecaps. Dear God, please don't let me relapse and return to the G-Ride with 3 straps. A ski mask with the case, squeezing keys apps, spraying everything from a nigga's brain to his kneecaps. Gun on me, it ain't never for show, homie. I'm far from a bully, but I'm never a hoe. Get out of line, my Beretta will blow. Real talk, we can take the beef wherever we go. I bring it to your front door like I'm Uber Eats. I guarantee you listen up when this Ruger speaks. Plus I maneuver through these streets like a ghost, and I'm handy with the heat. I cook a nigga like a roast. On me, homie, this is not a boast. I will still come through, boy, and stop a nigga's post. Play him close, man, Eric will ease it. Quickly off the waistband, man, and Eric will squeeze it. Leave you niggas laid out dead or paraplegic. Niggas playing in these streets while I'm very strategic. I come to your house dressed like the gas man. Shoot you 9 times, leave you stretched by the trash can. Dear God, please don't let me relapse and return to the G-Ride with 3 straps. A ski mask with the case, squeezing keys apps, spraying everything from a nigga's brain to his kneecaps. Dear God, please don't let me relapse and return to the G-Ride with 3 straps. A ski mask with the case, squeezing keys apps, spraying everything from a nigga's brain to his kneecaps. I don't put shit on Facebook, I just holler in person. Put the pistol in your mouth while you holler and cursing. All that shit you kept rehearsing and put on your live, got your clap with the big 4-5. You bitch nigga, if you tell me to pull up, I'ma do that. That nigga who was whooping first nigga that I shoot at. Ski mask on my face, bystanders be like, who that? I ain't with the talking, bitch boy, I thought you knew that. Leave his brains where my shoe at and bounce like I'm on a trampoline. Leave you laid out, nigga, like you camping on the scene. If you want something sweet, grab a peach or tangerine. Niggas won't smoke, well fuck it, I'ma let them handle steam. AR with the beam, you see the red dot? We tug on this trigger, nigga. It'll make your head pop. Blood pouring down to your shoes, call it Red Sox. Your brains hanging all over your shoulders like some dreadlocks. Expect the gang of dead off if they ever cross the line. The Lord said in the Bible, oh, revenge is mine. So I'm just trying to find a righteous path between the two. Before I lose control and do the shit I used to do. This being humble shit is new. I'm trying to turn the other cheek, but I ain't never been a bitch, so watch your mouth when you speak. Your mercy's what I seek, so I pray on bended knees. Don't let me get the K with the extended clip and squeeze. Lord, please. Dear God, please don't let me relapse and return to the G-Ride with 3 straps. A ski mask with the case, squeezing keys apps, spraying everything from a nigga's brain to his kneecaps. Dear God, please don't let me relapse and return to the G-Ride with 3 straps. A ski mask with the case, squeezing keys apps, spraying everything from a nigga's brain to his kneecaps.
What's going on, y'all? What is going on, y'all?
I'm just going to click random stuff and something.
What is going on, man? Let me pull this down, man. Shout out to Brother Eric, man. Shout out to Brother Eric. Appreciate you, man, letting us use this music, man. Dang, man. Oh, man. Good to see y'all, man, on a Tuesday. And I just slipped in here, man. I said, man, let me just step in here real quick and, do a little something, man. We just get together real quick, man. We ain't gonna be long and strong tonight, man. We're gonna be strong, but we ain't gonna be long, man. We gonna we're gonna come out here and we're gonna just have a little powwow, y'all. Just have a little powwow. What is going on with the black community, y'all? Man, the black community is going bananas, man. We going bananas, man. Shout out to everybody in the house. Let me check everybody in, man. First of all, man, we want to thank Brother Eric, man. Always show appreciation to that brother, man, for donating the song Relapse for us. Appreciate you, Brother Eric, man. Go over and check him out at 16 to Life, the YouTube page, man. Got a lot of fun stuff going on over there. All right, y'all. Let's check everybody in, man. First of all, we got the resident sniper in the building. We got Reese Neal in the building. Shout out to Reese Neal, man. Shout out to you, man. You know what, man? Those of you guys where your whole thing, your hold on. Those of you, man, when your situation falls apart, man, you gotta have an enforcer, man. You gotta have somebody in the chat that the people respect, man. Oh, man. There you go. All right, we gotta have somebody. You gotta have somebody that the people respect, man, in the chat. So we got Reese Neal, man, and she is a ultimate sniper, man. So if you really wanna have something, uh, not fun happen to you, man, that's the person you want to mess with, man. Reese Neal will scoop you up out of here real quick, man. So shout out to Reese. Glad to have you in the building, man. Keep the chat squeaky clean over there. Thank you, sis. Who else in the building? Got the Intellectual Soapbox, man. If you haven't already subscribed to the Intellectual Soapbox, go on over there and check him out, man. Good dude, man. But trying to put it together for show, man. Don't always agree with me, but good dude, man. Good-hearted dude. What about who else in the building? The Food Channel, man. We got Brother Simon in the building. Shout out to Brother Simon, man. Glad to have you in the building, my brother. Good to see you, man. Hope everything is all right with you and your family and your beautiful little daughter, man. Hope everything is going good with you, man. Who else is in the building? Who else in the building, man? Salute to you, Intellectual Soapbox. Salute to you, brother. That dog. All right, man. I gotta get some new equipment here. Let's see. Reese said, "Bro, see the chat. Mods, let's get it. We're gonna get it, Reese. We're gonna get it tonight, man. We're gonna get it. We're gonna make it happen. Who else in the building? Who else in the building? Everybody's in the building, man. Intellectual Soapbox. The Intellectual Soapbox say he said, I even love my haters. Shout out to you, man. Shout out to you. I love I love everyone, even my haters, man. Oh man. Hey, you know what? I don't love the haters, but I'm interested in hearing what they say, man. Because you know what, Intellectual Soapbox, even your enemies can bring you good news, right? They can tell you where you're weak. Your enemy's gonna tell you where you're weak at, man, and you can gird up where I'm saying But if you won't listen to them, you don't listen to your enemies, man. You just blow them off because you say, "Oh man, they haters." That's the wrong attitude to have, man. That's the wrong attitude to have. The better attitude to have is, "Oh yeah, okay." Listen to your haters. Don't engage them, but you listen to them. Man, you suck. You take too long on your on your live streams. They way too long. Okay. All right. You talk too much about God. Right? Okay. Right. Why would I get mad at somebody for them having their own opinion? People gonna have their own opinions, man. We can't get mad at each other for having differences of opinion. We were raised different. We grew up different. We had different belief systems. I mean, we're gonna think different, right? We're gonna think different. We're gonna talk different, right? Some of us spoke other languages, right, other than English, right? So we can't get mad at somebody. That's like getting mad at somebody. My mother, man, bless her heart, man. Sometimes she used to get mad at people speaking Spanish around her, right? She said, I don't even know what they're saying. I say, wow, they got a right to be able to speak any language they want to, right? Right? Everybody got a right to speak the language they want to, right? I'm trying to fix this mic, man. It's crazy. Yeah, people can speak the language they want to, right? Anyway, who else in the building? Who else in the building? And like somebody said, too many snakes and fakes. Yeah, man, but see, the thing is, the fakes and the snakes, man, what you want to do is you don't want to engage them, man. You know what I'm saying? You talk to them just like a regular person, right? You don't want to throw them off their game. See, they secretly hating you, or they may be upfront hating you, right? Just let them hate. You know what I mean? Just let them hate. Their hate only going. I'm gonna tell you when their hate is effective. Their hate is effective when it penetrates you. When their hate penetrates you, then it's effective. But if it don't penetrate you, that's the only way their hatred works is if it affects you. If you let it affect you, right? They need your cooperation for their hate to work, right? If you don't cooperate, their hate is just their opinion, and everybody's entitled to their opinion, right? Who else we got in the building? We got Sister Annie in the building. Shout out Sister Annie, my Taurus sister in the building, man. That's my Taurus sister right there, man. That's the boss, man. When she gets up here, man, she's the boss, man. So we gotta. I don't fight with Tauruses, man, because Tauruses, man. I know I'm a Taurus, man. I know, man. You push, and I seen Sister Annie, man. And Sister Annie's a sweet, sweet sister, man. But I seen her get pushed. I seen her get pushed one time, and I'm like, oh boy. I said, woo-hoo, you at least Sister Annie alone, man. That's my sister, though, man. I love her. Oh, man. Shout out to Sister Annie, man. Glad to have you in the building, sis. Good to see you. Who else in the building, man? So I said the carnage. Ain't no carnage, man. See, these people, man, what they do is, man, they get you to get on your own nerves, right? That's the only way these people that hate on you, people that hate on you, they can only win with your cooperate. You got to cooperate. You got to get all bent out of shape with them. If you just say, okay, cool, like we just cut them, man. Remember the dude that came in here, man? You're all going to hell. I just came here to tell you that Jesus doesn't love this, right? Remember the dude came in here with all that, right? Just let him go on, man. You know what I'm saying? Then we said, bye-bye. That's it. Dude's going to hate, man. Whatever, right? They're going to do whatever they're going to do, man. It's okay. It's all right. But see, what he wanted me to do is go back and forth with him. What you mean? No. See, the Bible say, and they want to get into you with this long, contentious Bible thing, right? Oh, man, shout out to Danique Anthony, man. Racer X, back in the house, man. Shout out to Racer X, man. Shout out to Danique Anthony for super humongous, genuine cash app, man. Thank you, brother. I appreciate you. I appreciate all of y'all for y'all generous cash apps, and you're spending time with us, man. And you just spending the time with us. I appreciate that. Hold on now. Hold on. It's like I'm outside, man, with the wind blowing, right? Come on, brother. All right. Let's see. Just shout out to Danique Anthony, man. Humongous cash app. Very generous, brother. Thank you. Appreciate you. I appreciate all y'all cash apps, but remember, don't think you sending me cash apps. I ain't gonna ask you for money later, right? Me and Vaughn gonna be asking you for money later. We'll get some more backpacks and some more and another computer, man. All right, let's see. Who else? Who else in the building? Let's see. So did he say, brother Clash? I stand up straight with Risa Neal's in the house. We all do. We all got sense up in here, Sister Eddie. We all stand up straight when Risa come through here. Let me see. I better capitalize these letters. I better. We make the chat right when Risa come through here. Somebody said, "Nah, bro. See, you solid. I'm trying to be, man. I'm trying to be. But if I'm not, man, please tell me. You know what I'm saying? Please tell me, because I might got some. I might not see nothing, man. I might not see nothing on something on my starboard side. You know what I'm saying? I think I'm good, and I'm not good, right? People had it happen all the time, man. You get, you know what I'm saying? You got enough people telling you, man, go, proceed, right? And you were like, oh, man, I don't think I got no issues. But I do got an issue. That's why I love this community here, man, because Y'all will tell me, man. Hey, no, bro. See, come on, man. We got to holler at you. Let's put you to the side, bro. See, we got to holler at you, man. Tell you, man, what's going on, man. You know what I'm saying? You ain't rolling the right way, bro. See, come on now. You know who's good? You know who's good at that? Oh, man. Come on, man. All right. You know who's good at that, man? I'll tell you two ladies that are really good at that. Well, Vaughn's good at that too. Rico is humongously talented at telling you when you messed up, man. But the nicer ones are Patrice and Sister Eddie, man. They're a little nicer about it, man. Vaughn is a little nicer too, man. Rico has no filter, man. Rico does not hold back. Friend or foe, man. Rico's gonna tell you straight out, man. He's gonna put the spear right through your heart, man. And then he gonna say, Clarence, call me later, man, because I gotta go eat something. But he gonna put that spear right through your eye. Clarence, why'd you do that? That was stupid as hell. Why'd you do that? Right? But you need people like that, man, who's gonna be honest with you and tell you, man, so that you can get your act together, right? Don't take at them as don't look at people like that as haters, man. Look at them like, hey, man, this is person care enough about me, man, and so I walk out the house with no boogers in my nose, right? All right, who else in the house, man? Von Bryan is in the house. Shout out to Von Bryan. Glad to have you in the building. Clarence, what? Clarence, we need to get this money, Clarence. Oh man, Von ain't no joke, man. Von will get that money for you, no doubt. Election someone said, people think I forgot. I don't forget nothing. All right. But I would just, here's the thing, brother. I wouldn't hold on to it. I just would just remember it and remember how people move. Don't necessarily got to remember everything and, hold on to it and keep it and, let it fester with you. Man, just remember how they move so you can move accordingly. You can adjust. See, I'm at the age now, I don't try to convince nobody of nothing, man. I tell them they don't do it or they ain't going to do it or they don't want to consider what I'm saying. I just adjust. I observe and adjust. You want some sucker shit? Okay, I just observe and adjust. Okay, I see you on some sucker shit. I'm gonna leave you alone, let you do your sucker shit, and I'm gonna just back up. I'm gonna back up off of you, right? And I see you doing something good. You know what I'm saying? I might try to get in where I fit in, but especially on YouTube, man, it's difficult to build relationships when you just doing it virtually, right? It's difficult to do that. So how do we know? How do we know who we actually dealing with? Unless you build deeper, you spending more time behind the scenes, right? But it's hard to do it, right? And that's my advice, at least, brother. You do what you want to do, but he said, I've been letting them live time to pull the plug. Yeah, well, you do what you need to do, intellectual soapbox, man. I just say, hey, man, live and let live, man. Live and let live. Some people just born to be suckers, man. You know what I'm saying? Some people just, they just never saw how to be solid dude, man. They never saw solid dudes. So all they know is how to do sucker stuff, man. So don't hold it against people, man. You know what I'm saying? I used to do sucker stuff back in the day, man, because I just was on some sucker stuff, man. Some real G's got me and put me to the side. They wouldn't let me continue with the suckiness, man. That's how I kind of got a little better as a person because they said, nah, we're not gonna let you slide. And they held me accountable. And I hated it at the time, but here I am now. I'm them. I'm those guys. Those guys had the patience and they was pulling young dudes in like me and turning them around, man. They turned me around. So that's why I don't trip, because anybody can be turned around. Even a sorry cat like me, man, was turned around, right? Injected with a bunch of goodness, right? So, but just be an example. That's why I say be the example, man. Be what you want them to be. If you want them to be solid, let's be solid, y'all. Let's be solid people, so they can see what solid looks like, man. Because some of these cats ain't never seen no solid cat, right? I never talked to a solid dude. I never, you know what I mean? And they traumatized and they got self-esteem issues and all that, man. And but they talking to you like they regular, right? They talking to you like they got it all under, but they don't. A lot of these dudes don't, man. They don't have, they ain't got them all. That's why they here. If they had a whole bunch of friends, where would they have the time to be on YouTube, right? They really, you know what I'm saying? If they had a whole lot of friends in the free world, would they really be spending 10, 15, 20 hours a day online? Really? Really, man. They wouldn't have time to do all that, man. So, you know, man, give, you know, have some compassion for some of these cats, man, because, you know what I'm saying, they trying to learn, they trying to find their way. They trying to find their way, right? Risa said, well, they can't leave. They can leave. We're not forcing anyone to it. That's right, reason. We not forcing nobody, man. Everybody, we ain't forcing nobody to come over here, man. You know what I mean? We just talking, man. We just trying to help people live better lives, man. We ain't trying to get no bad advice. Try to give you some good life-saving advice, man. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, just come on, tune in, sit down, have a seat, man. But haters, don't hang on to them haters, man. Let them haters go. A lot of them just don't know. They just don't know what they're doing, man. A lot of them just don't know. Let's see. Brother Anderson's in the building. Shout out to Brother Anderson. Glad to have you in the building. We are black again, brother. We always gonna be black. But shout out to you, Brother Anderson the Great. Glad to have you in the building. My other Taurus brother. I leave these Tauruses alone, man. I don't mess with them. Mess with a Taurus, man, you in trouble. I already know that. I already know that. Brother Simon said French toast. Yeah, you're right, man. The intellect someone said, you can never stop me. I just want you to know. Like Future said, I never liked you. Oh, man. Okay, intellectual soapbox, man. Go ahead and do your thing, man. Do your thing. He said, Nas areas are the ones you should be careful with. I think you should be careful with everybody, man. I just know Tauruses because I'm a Taurus. I know Tauruses. I have a intimate knowledge of Tauruses, man. I know Tauruses. And I mean, them are not the people you want to mess with, man. Not at all. While you know what I'm saying? I'm trying to put you up on the game, intellectual. I'm trying to put you up on the game, man. Trying to put you up on the game, man. Hey, my man Riggs is in the building, Riggs. Man, you got to open up that sunroof this time, Riggs. We're going to go in, man. We got an unfortunate situation happening in North Carolina, man. I want y'all to see how crazy the black community is getting. The black community is absolutely going bananas, man. It's going bananas. But the question is, why? Why? Why are we falling apart like this, man? Why are we able to look at each other like, hey, we could just, knock each other off, right? Like soapbox say, I'm tired of people that walk around thinking I'm sweet. Brother Clarence, good day, brother Watkins. Good to see you, man. Good to see you, man. Good to see you. Good to have you in the building, man. I still owe you that fish dinner. I ain't forgot, brother. I ain't forgot. Well, let me see. Who else in the building? Big Rigs. Who else got it? I think I got everybody. I think I checked everybody else in, man. Checked everybody else in, man. Okay, y'all. I'm trying to tell y'all, man, the black community going bananas, right? Absolutely out. It's ridiculous, man. You can't even with and we are we gonna see now. Are we gonna be asked to cape, right? Are we gonna be asked to cape, right? Because see, our people are running into these stores stealing, right? Not all of our people, man, but a small percentage of our people. It's enough of them that a news camera could get down there and say, "Oh my God, the whole black community is breaking into these stores. We gotta shut them all down." Right, right. They can run a news camera down there, right? Down here in the Fairfax district, down here in Little Ethiopia, they can run a news camera over there. They got maybe 20, maybe 30 kids ditching school, running through, stealing some Nikes, right? Oh my God, the black community, oh my, these black people, they're animals. They're animals, right? Shout out to Sister Patrice, man. Shout out to OP Patrice. Glad to have you in the building, sis. But What's going on with us, man? Where's the love? Where's the love, 84? Where's the love? What about loving our brother? What about loving our sister? Right? We don't have no love for each other no more, man. And we're not teaching our children to love their brothers and sisters. Right? Our children are out here, man, and they following the Pied Pipers, the rappers, right? The Pied Pipers that's telling them it's cool to drink lean, right? Get high, unplanned pregnancies. Shout out to Black Man Unfiltered, by the way. Right? Our children to follow these Pied Pipers, right? Like Elijah Muhammad said, it's mass hypnosis. It's hypnotism. They're getting hypnotized by the beat. So they hide the message in the beat. Right? So they hide that classified directive, right? Which is whatever you do, don't buck the white man. You can buck your brother. You can lay your brother down. You can talk about your woman. You can lay your sister down. But don't you buck that white man. Because they got a place for you when you start bucking the white man. The people come and pick you up and take you to the place where you start bucking the white man. So the rappers, what they do, they sing songs all day about stepping on their own brothers and sisters, right? I shot this nigga, I killed this bitch, I did that, beep, bop, boop, bop, bop. I don't think I found one, Patrice, about a little brother that got unfortunately got hit on the bus. It's an ugly situation. I'm about to play it right now, but it's a bad situation. But I didn't find that one. Told you to text to me. Patrice is always sending me different stories, man. You know what I'm saying? And she's good about that, man. Patrice always finds these stories that we really should be talking about. And so I said, okay, Patrice, send me the link. I don't know what she's doing, man. She's in 24-hour fitness working out, or I don't know what she's doing, man, walking around out there. I don't know what she's doing out there, but she didn't send me the link. I'm like, God, dog. I forgot to. I was just about to send you guys those links too. I will in a minute. But let me finish my monologue. So anyway, our young people, man, they running around, man. They don't know nothing, man. And see, we not an example, man. We're not being a good example. Not, some of us are, but I mean, as a group, we're not a good example, us older people, because we are chasing the money. We bag chasing instead of children chasing. Oh, you didn't hear me. We bag chasing instead of children chasing, instead of wife chasing, instead of husband chasing. We bag chasing, right? I got to get this bag up. See, when I get this bag up, then, I get some respect. You ain't necessarily going to get respect when you got a big bag. But and even then, people don't respect you, they respect the bag. Not you. Respect is earned, man. You got to build respect. Respect is a temple that you have to build. And you have to constantly make sure that the temple, walk your post in a perfect manner, keeping always on the alert of that temple, right? Take charge of your post and all temple property in view. Well, what's the temple? What's your post? I'm my post. I got to take charge of myself, right? And all temple property in view. Everything that I am responsible for, I got to take charge of all that, right? Make sure it's proper. It's in the proper order, right? As best as I can, right? Well, what's our children? That's the temple property. Our children. But see, you know what we doing? We busy having a social life instead of making sure these children is on point. We busy having a social life. And then the men, I'm going to tell you how crazy the black community is. The black community is so crazy. When you do invest in your children and you do invest in your wife, they'll call you a simp. That's how effing crazy the black community is. They're going to call you a simp. Shout out to the Harris Tribe Media. Shout out to y'all. Glad to have y'all in the building, man. Shout out to Brother Sim. Now, that Sim is another one that Sim will tell me, man. Sim will say, man, hey, bro, C. At least Sim will put me to the side. Sim will put me to the side and say, hey, bro, C. Nah, you was off on that one, C. And then me and him will talk about it. Sometimes I win, sometimes he wins, right? But Sim is another one to hold me accountable, right? So I'm blessed. I got a lot of people that hold me accountable, right? But yeah, man, the black community is going nuts. You can't even ride the bus in the black community no more. Don't even get me started about Philadelphia. Don't even get me started about Philadelphia, man. You need a doggone bulletproof vest to walk through Philadelphia. If you're black, I don't know, man. It seems like white people are perfectly safe going through Philadelphia, but black people, oh man. And who we got to worry about? Not white people, not the Klan, not the police. Other black people we got to worry about. Same thing out here in L.A. Same thing out here in L.A. You go out here, you live in one gang territory, and you try to go someplace out of your territory, ain't the police you got to worry about. It's other black people you got to worry about. We are on a mission, y'all, of self-destruction. Remember that song they had on the 80s, Self-Destruction? It came to pass. Who knew that was prophetic? Self-destruction, right? They said we headed for self-destruction. Self-destruction. We're headed for self-destruction. Take that, Bolo. Take that. Right? Go look the song up. Go listen to the song. They telling the story about what we doing right now. There was a lady, man, unfortunately, I talk about her all the time. C. Dolores Tucker, man. And she tried to get us to change how we was moving. We hated her as young people, man. We hated her. We was like, man, nah, man, Snoop sound good, right? Snoop, Biggie, all that's good. Until we got grown and some of us got cleared of these demons and we said, wait a minute. What? I'm going to play it in a few seconds, Sim. But I'm just trying to show you the difference, how we moving now. How we moving. We moving real bad. We moving real bad. So this is what I want to do, y'all. I want to play y'all this video, man. Now, this is a young brother got on the bus in South Carolina. He got on the bus. He ended up pulling a gun on the driver of the bus. City bus. Didn't know the driver was ready for him. But this is how crazy it is. This is how crazy it is. This is how crazy it is to live in the black community, man. I'm gonna show you. It's a ridiculous situation, man. Let's see. Okay, let me play it for y'all.
Happened while the bus was in motion. The ride was uneventful until the man with the hoodie got on. 22-year-old Amari Sharif Tobias allegedly tried to ride without paying. Words were exchanged with David Fuller, the driver. In the video, you hear Tobias ask Fuller to get off, but Fuller said no because he was not at a bus stop. The men continued to argue. At one point, Tobias made several threats. Tobias walks behind the driver, and here you can see him pull out a gun. When he walks back to confront him again, Fuller opens fire. The shootout is captured on multiple interior cameras. Passengers duck for cover while Tobias makes a hasty retreat. He's next to the rear exit. So is another passenger who is positioned slightly under him. The driver gets up from his seat while continuing to point the gun at Tobias. He then fires 3 more shots at Tobias, who tumbles out of the bus along with the other.
Okay. You see that, right? I mean, the bus driver not only he got out and followed the dude off the bus, right? And start shooting at the kid on the bus. He hit the kid. Kid survived. Everybody survived, right? Bus driver got hit in the arm. The kid got hit in the stomach. Everybody survived. But there was passengers on that bus. Y'all hear me? What's going on with the black community, man? What is going on with the black community? Let me finish. Let me let it finish.
Their passenger. Fullard gets off the bus. From the interior camera, you can see him fire one last shot. From this exterior camera, you can see that Fullard spots Tobias by the sign and fires that last shot. Fullard was shot in the arm and is recovering at home. At some point during the exchange of gunfire, Tobias was shot in the abdomen. He's out of the hospital and in jail on numerous charges.
Okay. Okay.
Atera is the IT painkiller, remote monitoring and management.
All right, Patrice was sending me something, y'all. I'm trying to get it so that I can send it. Let's see. All right, there we go. Okay. All right, y'all. What y'all think? What y'all think? Yeah, I think it is. I think it is, Sister Eddie. I think that is. I think that's what they call emptying the clip. Yeah. I think that's what they call emptying the clip. Yikes. Okay. What are we doing, y'all? What are we doing? What's happening? What is happening with us, man? Now I'm gonna let y'all chime in. I'm gonna use this other story. I'm gonna go to this other story, and then I'm gonna let y'all chime in. But y'all gotta think, man. What is going on with us? Why are black people? I mean, even on YouTube, man, when you watching YouTube, man, you got this person fighting with that person fighting with this person, and then you're like, what is going on? Is it even that serious? I don't know. I'm probably not gonna fight with too much of anybody. The only thing I probably will get into it with somebody is if they threaten me physically. Other than that, I'm probably not gonna, you know. And even then, I gotta start realizing, man, these people are not gonna do nothing. And if they do, I'm here. I'm waiting. I'm okay. I think I'll manage, right? I just get so sometimes I get offended, but I got to stop that. That's something I have to work on because I got to realize, man, it's not. I mean, somebody says something to you just because they say something, you got to react to everything people say to you, right? At least I don't. I shouldn't, right? If I'm going to ask you guys not to do that, then I shouldn't do it either, right? But why are black people the only one? Why are we so interested in destroying each other? Why do we get such a thrill out of that? Is it that the rappers have taught us that it's money in destroying black people? Because it is. It's a lot of money in destroying black people, right? Lots of money in that. Lots of money in miseducating black people. Lots of money in that, right? On both sides of the aisle, right? The Democrats make lots of money in social programs that they wouldn't have to do all that if they would just leave us alone, educate us, leave us alone, stop putting us in situations where crime is a better alternative than poverty, right? Just give us about 50 years to just grow out of this and mature out of it, right? Provide us with everything we need so that we can, and we'll be better people. If you could send monkeys to the moon, as Mr. Farrakhan said, if you could send monkeys to the moon, you got money to help us get out of this situation, but you don't want us out of this situation. The Democrats don't want us out, nor do the Republicans want us out. We are a tool that both of them use to move money around and get things done that they want. The one use us by making everybody fear us, and the others use money making everybody feel sorry for us. And neither one of them have our best interests at heart. Our best interest would be to teach us how to fish. But what they want to do is keep giving us the heads and the tails and the heads. They don't want to give us the good part of the fish or any good part of anything. That's just my opinion. I'm about to open it up, and y'all can come up here and tell me different, but that's my opinion. And like I said, what are they doing? It ain't all of us. The bottom feeders will always be on a lower vibration. Well, in this type of situation, yes. But I'm not saying it's all of us. I'm saying they're going to say it's all of us. Not us. We know it's not all of us. We're here. It's them that's going to say, oh, it's all of them. Look at them. We need to bring the chokehold back. They can't be stopped. What if they just rush a store? Right? And what they're right. They're not right about the chokehold, but what if you do rush a store? What should they do? Should they just let you carry all this merchandise out? Like Walmart been doing? Like Nike store been doing? Like all these places been doing? They've been letting people just walk out of the store because they tell them it's too dangerous to confront these people. You might get shot. And Nike can write them shoes off, right? They can write those clothes off, but they can't write you off. Right? You're gonna want $2 or $3 million, $50 million. They got insurance for them shoes. But you're gonna want a whole bunch of money if you get shot. Something happened to you. Somebody said, nah, bro, see, want no negativity. He is only here to spread wisdom and love. Yeah, I don't want no negativity, man. I just want to see us do better, brother. And unfortunately, that puts me at odds with a lot of people. That puts me at odds with a lot of people, man. They don't necessarily, they got the all for one and one for all type of mentality, right? White man taught them good. You don't class hands with no another nigga. If I see you getting together with nigga, I tease Rico all the time, man. I tease Rico when sometimes me and Rico talk while I'm at work. And after we talking long enough, I say, hey Rico, white man looking at the blinds at me, man. I gotta go back to work, man. I say, Rico, the white man looking at the blinds at me, man. I gotta go back to work. I said, he looking at me, he say, who are you talking to, Claire? You talking to another black person? Don't you be talking to no black people while you working with me. Shout out to the white people, man. Yeah, man, but we got to do better, man. We got to do better with our child raising, right? But here's the thing, man. Nobody wants to admit that they might be wrong, right? They might need to they might need to make a change, right? We too proud. And pride is a function of vanity, right? We too vain. You're going to make me look bad. I can't be wrong. You're going to make me look bad. I'm not wrong. We not even want to entertain the idea that you could possibly be wrong. I can't possibly be wrong. I know everything, right? Who knows everything? Nobody knows everything, and circumstances change by the minute, right? All we know is the best information we got at the time. That's what we know. That if the best information we got at the time, right? You tell somebody, hey, is it gonna rain tomorrow? Yeah, no, man. The weather says it's gonna be sunny all day. Next day it's raining, right? Well, that was the best information you had at the time. Things changed, right? Storm came in, things changed. We got to always be willing to accept the fact that we could be wrong. Correction is good. Rejection is good. Right? I keep trying to tell y'all, man, rejection, embrace rejection. Embrace rejection. When you get rejected by somebody, man, that is God saying that relationship would not have worked out long term. That's God intervening for you, right? So you got to be able to see God's hand and stuff so you'll know, oh, okay. Thank you. Thank you. You got to be able to see God's hand and stuff. Oh, Clarence, I don't believe in God. Okay, whatever you want to say, higher power, the force, whatever, right? I'm just saying, you got to be able to see a bigger uh power than yourself moving on your behalf by making somebody reject you. But I don't like being rejected, Clarence. I don't like it. I don't like being rejected, Clarence. Rejection is bad. Is it? Is it? Rejection is not bad. It's how you handle it. It's how you handle rejection. Rejection is not bad. Rejection is a good thing. When somebody rejects you, that's good. But Clarence, I really wanted to be in this club. I wanted to be with these guys, man. They were cool. They were good guys. I wanted to be with these girls. Clarence, they're good girls. They're cool. Yeah, but they don't want you. They don't want you. And if they don't want you, they don't want you. So I tell you, man, I heard somebody say yesterday, he said, I ain't cool with you. So I ain't cool with you. Somebody tell you they ain't cool with you, they ain't cool with you. what you gonna do about it? You gonna force them to be cool with you? Oh, I'm gonna force you to be cool. You can't do nothing about it, right? Can't force people to love you. Can't force people to like you, right? Some of y'all got people in y'all lives, and you know, you. Some of y'all got people in y'all lives, man, and they are not good for you. They might be a good person for someone else because someone else got the stomach to deal with all of the issues that they got going on. But they might not be for you because you ain't got the stomach for that. Right? Some dudes got a stomach for a woman that wears suggestive clothes all the time. Yeah, sometimes a woman gonna wear something suggestive every now and then. Okay, cool, no problem. But some dudes ain't got a stomach for that, man. They gonna say go in and change. Right? And then some dudes that got a stomach for it, man. They got a stomach for guys looking at their woman like they want like a ham sandwich. They like that. To them, that makes them think, hey, I got a good woman because other men want my woman. Yeah, but they want your woman for the wrong reason. Just because your woman look good or looks enticing or creates sexual attention, that doesn't mean that she's a good woman. But some dudes got the stomach. They willing to put up with a woman that's not good because she creates sexual tension, a lot of sexual tension. Are y'all with me? Y'all still with me? We got so many different things going on in the Black community, man. It's crazy. And I think a lot of it stems from, I hear you, Brother Watkins. It stems from a lot of self-esteem issues that we have. We got a lot of self-esteem issues because all of us have done so much wrong, man. We've done wrong. I know I have, man. I did a lot of wrong, man. That's why I'm doing what I'm doing now, man. Try to shave some of that wrong off, right? Try to shave some of that wrong off by trying to lead some of these other brothers in a better direction, right? But we done so much wrong. We feel so bad, man. We got these complexes, man. We just feel like, oh man, I'm nothing, man. Nobody wants to be my friend. Nobody wants to hang out with me. Nobody wants to do anything with me. And there's a reason why nobody wants to do nothing with you. Because you ain't that good of a person right now. You ain't that good of a person right now. Or you are, and you trying to hook up with people that aren't good. You might be a good person, but the people you trying to hang out with, they know in their heart they're really not good people. And so they trying to stay from you, right? That's how sometimes women are, right? Especially women. But men are like that too, right? Sometimes women get out of a bad relationship, and what she want is just some companionship from somebody who she don't want a solid relationship. She just want companionship and maybe some casual sex, and that's it, just to get her mind off the situation, right? Here you come, Mr. Good, do good. I'll treat you right. I'll take you. I'll warm your bathwater. You, Mr. Babyface, right? I'll pay your rent. I'll, you gonna do all this stuff, right? That woman say, slide it under the door. All right, thank you. You Mr. Babyface. I'm gonna do all that. I'm gonna pay I'll run your bathwater. I'll, cook your meals. I'll work all day. All you gotta do is sit around the house and sit on the sofa, right? You might be one of those dudes, right? Here you come, right? I'm gonna treat this girl not like no one else, right? And the girl don't give you the time of day. And here comes Rough Ronald, right? Rough Ronald. He never where he say he's supposed to be, never where he's supposed to be, never doing what he's supposed to be doing, in and out of jobs, right? Right? Because she knows she look at you and she said, nah, this dude is too nice. This dude is too nice. I need an animal on this job. For the next 6 months, I need an animal. I need somebody that's gonna pull my hair. I need somebody that's gonna pull my hair, push my head into the pillow, bite my ears off, right? Just for starters. Clarence ain't gonna do all that, man. See, Clarence is a nice guy. He talking about he gonna pay my rent, run my bathwater soon. Like you say, Sister Eddie, soon as I get home from work, right? She goes, Clarence ain't my guy. You know what I'm saying? I need somebody like Mr. Watkins, man, that's gonna come in, man, slap me on the ass, pull my hair, pull these extensions out, right? Then demand that I go in the kitchen to make something to eat, right? Or send me out to go get it, right? Well, don't you got DoorDash? Yeah, but why should I do that? You can go get it. I want you to go get it. Right? What's wrong with us, man? What's wrong? Mr. Watkins said, it gets real when you go in the boo-boo room, right? But I'm saying, men do the same thing, right? Got sister like Sister Annie come, oh, I'm nice. I'm a, you know what I'm saying? We can talk, brother. We can, we can have a nice cordial situation. And then if something should grow from that, then we could, brother saying, I ain't trying to hear that. I'm trying to get paid tonight. Sister Annie ain't my lady. I need Shaniqua. I need somebody that's going. We gonna make it happen tonight, right? First encounter, first meeting, right? And then of the pole people that the men and women, the good men and good women, they get penalized for being good in the dating world. In the dating world, in the human dating world, you get penalized for being a good person. You get penalized. When I say penalized, I mean that people are not looking to spend time with you, at the height of their sexual prowess. right? I'm gonna put it out there in a minute. I'm gonna put it out there in a minute, man. One more thing. I'm getting off the subject. I'm getting off the subject, y'all. Y'all know how I do, man. I go in. I go in. Okay, I'm gonna go in. I gotta play this other clip, man. Patrice just sent this to me. I gotta play this other clip real quick so that we can start talking about this too, and then I can get on it. But y'all think about what I've been saying. Think about what I've been saying. All right, here we got another situation, man. It's awful, man. Awful. If you thought the bus driver busting a cap on a kid, and then now don't. I'm not trying to make that like that little kid was innocent, man. A kid put a gun on him, right? That kid put a firearm on him, man. He just didn't know that the bus driver was armed himself, right? All right, so here we go. We got let's see. Let me see. Here we go. All right, I'm gonna read the story, y'all. Gas station owner charged with murder in killing of a 14-year-old in Columbia, South Carolina. Richland County Sheriff's Department investigating shoot off Parkland Road. All right, so let me see if I can play this video. Okay, what's going on? Okay, here we go. Here we go. I ain't gonna mute the ad until I'm not gonna mute this thing till the ad plays. No thanks. I don't want no notification. Oh man, now this is newfangled stuff. They don't even tell you that the ad is playing now. They don't even tell you how long it's gonna be. Yeah. Oh, here we go in the corner. 30 seconds. Okay, here we go.
And talk about a very tragic incident that we had last night where a 14-year-old lost his life. It's senseless. It doesn't make sense. We have a family that's grieving. We have a community that's grieving over a 14-year-old who was shot. His name is Cyrus Cermak Belton. His family's been notified. We just talked to the mom just a few minutes before we came into here. We've also met with different groups. I think it's very important that we get the truth out. There's a lot of different narratives that's being circulated that is not true, but the facts are very disturbing as they are. This happened about 8 o'clock last night at a convenience store on Park Lane where the victim went in. The owners of the convenience store suspected him of shoplifting. He did not shoplift anything. We have no evidence that he stole anything whatsoever. There was a verbal confrontation inside the convenience store. The victim went outside. He took off running. The son of the owner of the convenience store gave chase. The father, who owns the convenience store, joined in the chase. He was armed with a pistol. They chased a young man towards Springtree Apartments. Young man fell down. He got back up. At some point, the son said that he had a gun, that the victim had a gun, and we did recover a gun that was close to his body. At that point, the father shot the young man in the back. He was not laying on the ground. Did not have his hands up. The coroner will go through a little bit more details after her autopsy today, but it was, regardless, even if he had shoplifted 4 bottles of water, which is what he initially took out of the cooler, and then he put them back. Even if he'd done that, that's not something you shoot anybody over.
4 bottles of water, y'all. 4 bottles of water. Kid got shot. Kid got killed over 4 bottles of water. Basically running out of the store. Now running out of the store, I mean, unless he had the cash register with him, why would you chase him? right? That happened because you chased him. You didn't have to chase him. That's where the murder. That's where the M1 is, right there, right? You didn't have to chase him. You could have just stayed where you was and made sure he didn't come back in and call the cops, right? That's what you should have done. We don't even know if that gun belongs to the kid. I mean, how many times have they thrown a gun by a dead black person, right? Yeah, he said he put the water back. He did put it back, Risa. You see, they brought the sister out here to try to make it look like, they it's to try to cool things down a little bit, right? I'm gonna bring somebody up, maybe have some a little more information than me. Patrice,
Hey, bro, how you doing?
what's going on with you, girl?
Nothing much. How you doing?
I'm doing all right now that I got you up here.
Good to
And
hear you. It's good to see your voice, brother. I'm glad you're feeling better and doing better.
same here, same here. Glad to hear you from you, sister. Finally.
Well, I've been chilling. I just came off my little mini vacay. I went to Chicago and joined my family and
Right
things of
on,
that nature. So yeah, feel good to be back home though, for real.
right on, right on. Okay, well, sis, what can you tell us about this situation? What's going on here?
Yeah, so apparently recently, this young teenage boy, I don't know if he went into the store. It's not really clear on whether he was going in there to steal or going in there to purchase, right? I guess he got the 4 bottles of water, then he put it back or whatever. And the altercation or some words were exchanged in the store, and then he left. And it's alleged that that he left after getting into the arcade inside the store with the owner, or either the owner's son or something to that nature. And he left out the store, but then why did they go chase him? So my problem is, even if he had a weapon on him, he didn't present the weapon in the store to them, and he had left. So to be shot in the back, you literally went after this young man, chased him down, and shot him in the back, which means that young man is either walking or running away from the incident, right?
Right,
So minus the gun, the case kind of sounds similar. I told you, to me, it kind of sounds similar to the Latasha Harding, because the young man actually had the money to pay for the water. I don't know why he didn't pay or what happened. So I'm looking to see if more is going to be said too, because I literally just found out about this story today, and I think it happened over the holiday weekend. But very, very sad situation. Good thing that the gas station owner is being charged, but is he going to be prosecuted, and is he going to be found guilty to the fullest extent of the law for actually murking the 14-year-old boy, right? Because we have had incidents many, many times when, yes, we know these teenagers are out here doing nefarious things and carrying weapons or things of that nature. I'm not making an excuse for that behavior if that is the case. But if this young man was walking or running away from this incident and had left the property, and for them to chase him down and shoot him in the back, said that's a whole nother scenario that I believe should be justified for actually committing this type of crime that he's being charged with, in my humble opinion. But you can finish planning, and we can talk more about this incident. Unfortunately, it's very tragic. He's nothing but a kid, and it's just sad all the way around the board that these type of things are happening. But it just took me back to Latasha Harding, the situation that happened with her in '91, and I mean she was literally murked over some orange juice.
right,
That she had the money and was actually going to pay for it, but got into it with the lady, so decided to leave
Right.
and didn't have the orange juice with her when she left. And again, the owner of this store took it upon herself and shot Latasha Harding in the back of the head with,
Right.
with her weapon. I mean, and this lady was just charged with manslaughter. And I know she'd been out. I think she got 5 years. She didn't even do any of the 5. And then she got out on some kind of special something. And she's living life, I believe, in California somewhere.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
to know that
Here in LA.
to know that these things continuously is happening, and we don't have the protection of any laws protecting our community, but it's protecting other said communities of people and races of people. That's the part that I'm having a problem with, because this is not the first, nor it will be the last incident or situation like another Latasha Harding's situation was. And it's so unfortunate that this is going to continue to happen until we can get some laws passed protecting us as a special interest, as a race of people as well.
Yeah, Vaughn, this kid was 14 years old, man. 14 years old. Shot, killed, done, dead. And they chased him out the store. I could see if it was a gun battle, but wasn't no gun battle. They shot him. And that's that. Shout out to Daryl Long, by the way. All right, y'all, we're going to listen to a little bit more. Let's listen to a little more to get some more insight.
Much less a 14-year-old, but you just don't do that. This location has had lots of incidents in the past, shoplifting incidents. Been confrontations between the owners of the store and customers and people in there actually shoplifting. But you don't do what happened last night. We're charging the owner of the store, Rick Chow, with murder. He should be arrested at any moment now, but he is charged with murder. I think that is significant for the community to know that we went through our process of our investigation. We had to wait on the coroner to do our autopsy this morning. We had to talk to witnesses. We had to make sure that we had the facts that we've been able to find. Again, what clouded the issue is that the victim did have a gun. There was a confrontation. We had to make sure that those who fired the shots did not have that gun pointed at them, and they did not, in legal terms, be in fear of their life. And Rick Chow shot this young man in the back, and he killed him. And he is going to be appropriately charged murder, which is what he.
There it is right there. There it is right there. There it is right there. Oh, yeah, it was an Asian dude. Now, can you imagine if it was a black store owner that had shot and killed an 14-year-old Asian kid? Oh, man, the Asians would be turning up. The Asians would be turning up. But are we turning up? Anyway, let's bring in Intellectual Soapbox.
Salute, family.
Shout out to Bolo. Shout out to Intellectual Soapbox, by the way.
Shout out to Bolo TV. Hey, OG Patrice, welcome back. I'm from the vacay, You know what I'm saying?
Well, what you think, man? What you think, Intellectual Soapbox? What do you think, man?
Number one, salute to you, bro, Clarence. You know what I mean? Also salute to OG Patrice. And listen, if y'all haven't checked out the last episode of OG Patrice did on Malcolm X, y'all are missing out. Okay? She dropped a bomb on us. You know what I mean? That was about, 2 weeks ago, right, OG? You know what I mean? So, yeah, she dropped the bomb on us. Check that out, Knowledge and Relationships. And also, always check out, bro, Clarence, man, right here on Let's Talk the Blood of Black Life. He always keeps it G. You know what I mean? And remember, sometimes you like these people, but he got to let you know that you got to get away from them, man.
Gotta cut them loose sometimes, man.
Oh, man. I think the situation is very unfortunate, as all the situations in our communities. I think that the problem with our community is that the people that we need the most hurt us the most. We know that we need each other, but we hurt each other the most. We know that we need resources, but yet we mistreat each other. We throw each other under the bus. We backstab each other. And even when we try to serve each other as much as possible, you know what I mean, which is what I always try to do as a content creator and even personally as well. But y'all, I mean, most of y'all don't know me personally, but as a content creator, I really try to do that. And even in trying to do that, people still, they want to talk behind your back. They want to backstab you. They can see somebody, and this has happened to me. They see people dragging you all on the internet for 2.5 hours, right? And these are the same people that say that they love you and all that. And for the people who did those videos, we've already talked. We good. I ain't coming at y'all. We are good, okay? But I'm talking about the people that's be in the comments that be laughing and kikiing and doing all the stuff, but yet they be up behind their back. They say they love you. You know what I'm saying? And that's the thing that we do in this community. We know we don't love people. We know we don't care about people, but yet, you know what I mean? We still be side hating, side eyeing, doing all this other stuff. And then when we have to deal with law enforcement or we have to deal with other issues, it's hard for us to unite because we're not united in the first place. As you said, bro, Clams, we can't even unite on something as frivolous as YouTube. This is frivolous.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I got monetized and people lost their mind. Like I done hit a lotto or something. I haven't seen a YouTube check yet. You know what I'm saying? And even before I was monetized, people losing their mind. It's crazy. So my thing is this, like, you know, when we have situations like this with the law and when we are engaging with law enforcement, we have to understand what our rights are. Okay, and what our rights aren't. And we also have to know the unwritten rules, because there are unwritten rules that we know as our people have to follow when we are engaged with the law. You know what I mean? We know how we have to comply. We know how we have to move, how we have to say yes, sir, no, sir, yes, ma'am, no, ma'am, so that we can make it where? Home. The destination is to get home.
Right.
You know what I mean? Don't let your pride stop you from getting home.
Right.
So, yeah, I'm gonna just chill for right now. Go ahead, bro. C.
Okay, so this is the thing. Okay, because see, this is how and this is an example. This situation right here on the screen here is an example of the love that we're missing for each other. How it's able to able to be used against us by other people, right? Right? They're able to shoot us in the back because they say, "Well, y'all don't care about each other. Why should I? Why should I care about y'all? Why should I make laws for y'all? Why should we do things?" Right? The agents are like, "Hey, y'all stealing out of our store. Y'all keep coming in here stealing out of our store," and they getting tired of it. They say, "Hey," the
But
owner
bro,
snaps.
see, I understand where you come from in the conversation, but we have to be clear about like this is a community of people that has a law specifically passed to protect them, right? As a class, as a race or class of people. We know how that was made to happen. And we also, if you guys don't know, the CBC, which is the Congressional Black Caucus, signed for that specific group, a race of people, for that law to be passed along with two Asian senators, that went to the Biden administration and said, hey, look, this is what's going to happen if you don't do this for this class of people that have poured a bunch of resources and funds into your campaign. And this is where the part for me where I want my people to really listen, because this is what we do not do to get for us to be protected as a class of people, as a race of people, the same way that they did. We're not putting in our resources. We're not demanding things. Listen, I'm tired of protesting. At this point, when things like this continues to happen and we're not a protected class or race of people like any others, then why aren't we got to start showing up and getting in their faces, literally in their faces, going to these meetings and say, we're not going to put our funds, our resources, our votes, or anything else until you protect us the same way that you protect all these other races and classes of people that have these laws specifically to protect them, right? Like, I am so sick and tired of this is our story all the time, because nobody takes us serious. Nobody cares about us as a race of people. And if we don't freaking start caring about us, these type of things are going to continuously happen to us as a race of people. Because see, first they look at us to say, well, y'all don't care about each other, so why should we care? And that has been the truth here lately with a lot of nefariousness. But at some point, We got to stop and say, no. This is more important than to be sitting on some YouTube fighting with another content creator because they don't like something you said or you don't agree with something they said. And I agree with you, bro. I checked out a lot of people all the people that be side-eyeing and kicking and all of that when people allegedly call themselves dragging other people or exposing other people. And I side-eye and I see, and I know a lot of shadiness has been going down, but this is, to me, what I fight for and things that I'm fighting with Congress to get passed is way more important than all of this drama. And that's where we fail. That other things are more important, but some people feel that this, dragging somebody on YouTube or allegedly exposing somebody ain't more important than fighting for the things that we need to be fighting and standing up for. And I land my plane with that for now.
Yeah, OG completely right. OG, you are so right on that one because it's like we can't even focus on the bigger things because we stay targeting each other. We can't even focus on the bigger issues and fighting for what you're talking about because we focus on oh you didn't do this for me the right way or I don't like your energy. And it's like you ain't even have a conversation with me. You don't even know me. And the things that I've shown you, I've never shown you anything that's disingenuous. You know what I mean? There's a lot of people that came on these platforms that use y'all for views, clouts, and money, and it was dragging people doing a whole bunch of stuff, and y'all still tuned in. You know what I mean? But when somebody's actually trying to do something positive, as Bro Clarence says, I'm trying. He always says, intellectual soapbox, he be trying. That was my Bro Clarence impersonation. But he always say, I'm trying. So I'm trying. I'm not perfect. I'm trying. You know what I mean? So in that, give me grace. Give me love. The same grace and love that you want in your life personally and on social media, give me the same back. And if you don't want to, then it's fine. But understand that I'm not just going to not respond and just let you just drag me or just let you think everything's sweet. Like, I'm not letting you do that. But we need to focus on the bigger issues, which is, the judicial system, our colonizer, our oppressor, and how we dealing with the system, how we are dealing with laws and statutes that are not in our favor. And we have to have that insight and know that. So OG Patrice, as always, I salute you for fighting for those things to make sure that we have a fair fight when we go and we stand across that jury of 12. You know what I mean? And we actually have laws in place that can protect us. Because right now we don't have that.
Right. And I said so many times before, shame on us, as a race of people. Half of the time we don't even want to go to jury duty and sit, amongst our peers for somebody that is on trial for we don't know what. And if they look like us, half of the time we be dodging trying to get out of jury duty, not less known, trying to show up, at your local alderman or Congress or governor or write a letter or paper or send an email saying, look, we need to be a protected race of people the same way you have protected said race of people, right? And because they looking at us the same way everybody else do. We are the lesser on the totem pole. We are the one that they don't give a rat's ass about deleting off the face of the earth because they look at it as, well, we're doing it to ourselves. But we have to stop looking at it as, well, we're doing it to ourselves and say, well, we're going to do something about it and what you're doing to us and our people. That's the point we need to get. We can't get past our feelings and emotions of being butthurt on YouTube because somebody said something about you or said something you didn't like. And now you want to expose or call yourself dragging them. But you got all the smoke for all these other content creators, but no damn smoke for the people that's out here literally deleting and deleting your own people. And because it hasn't happened in your back door right now, and it ain't knocked on your door, you have no problem with it. And for me, that's a problem with us and our community.
Shout out to Sister Sophia. Glad to have you in the building, sis. Now, here's the thing I want to know.
Love you, Lady Sophia.
Is the Asian community going to come and stand with us? Who got money on that one?
They quiet as a church mouse.
They not coming at all.
They quiet as a church mouse. They always
quiet on that one. Who got money on the Asian community stepping out saying, hey, this was wrong, and we are totally with the justice system, and we want the justice, the law, we want this person prosecuted to the full extent of the law.
But guess who
Anybody?
co-signed for them to get that, for them to get a protected class bill passed? The CBC, which is the Congressional Black Caucus, which is us. Literally,
Yeah.
we fight, we protest and march and fight for everybody else to get stuff. But when it comes to us, where are they? Nowhere to be found. That's the shit I'm tired of. I'm tired of us fighting for other people. And then when it comes for our fight, we stand alone.
Well, we fight for them in big fights, and they fight with us in small fights, right? Oh, we want to get this road named after I don't know who you are, Diamond X. So I gotta see who you are so that I can know who you are. And then okay, brother. All right, just want to make sure that I can bring you up. All right, this is it. Now, this is all I'm bringing up right now. 4 people.
Hey, how's everybody doing?
Is there more of that clip? If it is, I'd like to see more, listen to more of the clip if it's more.
I'll play a little more of it in a minute. What's going on, Diamond X? You got something to add, man?
Yeah, the only thing I wanted to say, this is going to sound kind of crazy, but I think with in the black community, we're going to have to understand that some black people are just no damn good, and we're going to have to cut those people off, and we're going to have to build with those who really want to do positive things. But see, the problem I see in the black community is we keep dragging all of these low life niggas who want to destroy us along with us, and we got to cut them off because they're not going to never change. Some of them are not going to change. Now, some people that are caught up into this street stuff, they may change at some point, but I don't see most of them changing. And this is from talking to people who've been in prison. Some of my friends been in prison, and I ask them how many people would try to go to the trade schools. They're like 20% trying to go, but most of them want to remain to be niggas. And I think we can't stop gun violence with people who are hell bent on destroying us. Because when we're talking about black on black crime, there are some black people who just want to destroy other black people. They're just destructive, evil, and we have to be willing to accept that. I don't think a lot of us can handle that.
Agreed. But so how do you propose that we do this? How does this big rapture situation happen then?
Well, if it was up to me, I would say we need to start trying to figure out a way to rezone these neighborhoods so where we can say, you know what, you got to leave. Straight up tell them, look, you can't live here. You got to go someplace else, or else we need to separate from the hood and then create new black communities and just don't let them get involved. And I don't mean cutting off someone because they don't have money or because they smoke weed or because, they don't necessarily have a job. I'm talking about cutting off those who want to destroy and attack other black people. Because in order to talk about fighting white supremacy, we're going to have to be able to be a strong unit first. And we're also going to have to cut off a lot of coons and sellouts because that's another problem. We got people for $1 that are willing to sell us out. So we're going to have to clean house in order to really be worth anything. If we keep allowing these people in our community, then nothing's going to change.
Okay, but my question to you is, how are you going to do that in a systematic and in an orderly way? How would you be able to do something like that? See, I don't think you're going to be able to do something like that. So we're going to have to this is my opinion. We're going to have to acknowledge those people, and we're going to have to try to get them to the ones that will understand and can understand. We're going to try and get them, and we're going to have to deal with the ones that don't understand. We just gonna have to deal with them. We just gonna have to we still got to get the raft across the river, even with those dudes rowing the wrong way. So I don't see
it. I could never see it working that way because from what I've seen, I could never. There's just so many of them that the only way I can see doing that is black people are going to move out of these neighborhoods that these people are in and create new black communities. And whereas the situations where we're going to create a new community where where we decide who can live here or who can't live here. That's the only way it's going to work because what you're saying, with all due respect, my brother, is we've been trying that since the 1970s and it has not been successful. It's not, I've never seen it be successful that way, because you're not talking about people who want to do right. You're talking about some people that are just pure evil, and we gotta admit that. So don't get me wrong. I got a lot of respect for people who want to help them, but these people don't want to change. Not all of them don't want to change, but a lot of them don't want to change.
I'm going to give you that there are some of our people that just, they don't
pure evil.
They don't want to change, right? And the reason why I'm going to give you that is because every race of people has those people in their ranks,
of course,
right? So I'm going to give you that one, but we have a special situation here because the people that you're trying to separate from, how are we going to see that? That sounds logical until you, in theory, but if you try to practically apply it, how would you see? There's no way to actually practically apply that situation. So I'm saying I'm giving you a realistic way to try to deal with the situation, as opposed to I see it theoretically what you're saying. Yeah, that could work theoretically, but there's no practical way to apply it.
Well, here's the thing I'll say. I think at first people are going to be resistant to it because here's the thing. A lot of us ain't got the heart to cut off our family members, because every single one of us probably have a family member who would be on that list of people that we're not going to associate with no more. So the problem is, when it comes to cutting off all the cancer in our community, a lot of us are just too damn soft to do it in the first place. So I understand what you're saying. So what you're saying is right, because I know black people in general are just too damn soft to cut the fat. Because I've seen people try to hold on to family members that were child molesters. I'm like, you want to bring this dude around when you know he molested somebody before? You're mad because he's going to prison? So the first step is.
Hello?
His sound went out. Something happened.
His sound went out. Yeah, I mean, I hear what he's saying.
They took him out. They took him out, bro. See, they took him out.
Oh man, they took him out already. Then he just got started.
Hopefully,
No, I'm still here.
Oh, okay.
I'm still here, respectfully. So what I'm saying, I came to this realization a couple years ago when I was talking to some of my friends that did time in the prison system, and they would talk about how black people in the prison system who were trying to improve themselves would run the risk of being killed or being murdered by those who just want to be niggas. And see, that's the problem. So here's my whole thing, right? If we're running a high school, if you have some kid who doesn't want to do their work, if you want to be dumb and stupid, I'm cool with that. Just sit in the corner and be quiet. But when you try to disrupt and stop other people from gaining their work, from doing bits, from improving, that's when I got a problem. And see, the problem with us is we're just too damn. I mean, I don't want to be rude, but I want to be respectful because I love my people. But I understand that I think a lot of us are just too soft when it comes to dealing with our own people. We want to make excuses for people to do pure things that are pure evil. And a lot of the shootings is not about money. They're not. See, these gangs that exist now, they're not really trying to become a criminal enterprise. They just want to kill off for black people. That's the big thing that's going on now. They're not trying to build something like the mafia. They're not trying to build a criminal enterprise to really make money and move into legitimate business and gain power. They just want to destroy and kill off for black people.
Agreed. Now, but the thing is, brother, like you said, okay, so I don't think it's that the people are soft. It's that there's no mechanism to do what you're saying. See, you're saying
it's got to be created. I understand, but the way I would go about doing it is I was like, this is something I'm going to try to do when I can gain some more influence and all that. But I am going to put it out there. I'm going to say that we need to separate and move to a new black community and cut those people off who don't want to do right. And anybody who want. And here's the thing.
Okay,
we really need to begin.
Brother, hold on one second. Let me.
Yes, sir. I'm sorry.
A practical question. How do you?
Yes, sir.
How do you stop a person that has the money to be able to come into your community and buy a home there, but they might not be of the ilk of everyone else? How do you propose to stop that person?
Okay. Well, I'm looking at trying to create new boroughs and get it zoned to where you have to be signed in. You can't just buy a home. You have to get approval from the people that are already living in that community before you can buy a home. And if you get approved and you act up, you can always be removed. Your money can be refunded back to you. You can be removed. So I'm saying that we need to look at getting laws changed and setting up things totally different. Because I know this sounds crazy, but we need to totally begin to think outside the box. I'm talking about creating a new area where we take neighborhoods that are ghettos and we rezone them, find a way to rezone them, and say, okay, now we have a committee in this neighborhood, and we decide who leaves and who stays. So I'm not sitting here saying this can be done tomorrow. I'm just saying that we need to move in that direction. That's all I'm saying, sir.
And if I may add, I understand your point and what you're saying, and I have no problem with no but one that wants to separate themselves and start a whole new Black community again for themselves and keep everything in house. Like, I know that there are certain groups of people that is doing that in certain areas around in various states. But we need a better understanding of how group economics works and how to keep things in house. Because first we need to realize that our main power that we have that we're not exercising rightly so is our funds, is our money. Okay, we know that. Let me tell you about the other community, right? Like predominantly Caucasian communities, and the reason why the Asian communities can't go in their communities and set up shop is because they don't want it. They're not allowing it. So they know that we're the weakest link, right? They're not allowed to come in certain upscale white communities and open up nail shops and open up beauty supply stores and open up Chinese restaurants and Thai restaurants and things of that nature. So they put them predominantly in Black and Hispanic areas because they know that, first of all, we're not allowed even in our own communities to even a lot of times set up shop and open up businesses. So they come in our said communities where they know that these things are needed, and they don't see people that look like us have these businesses, but we spend billions of dollars with them. We're not taking our money anywhere else. If we taking away our spending power, that's number one of how it can start. But because Black people lack financial literacy to that level, understanding how that group economics work, is knowing that if you spend outside of your community, it don't stay in the Black community, except I think for like 6 minutes or something, and it goes elsewhere. These same said people who we sign a protection bill for do not pour back into the communities that they set up the businesses in. They're not giving anything back, but yet we continue to spend with them. Once we learn that, we know that we have the money. See, we want to say that we don't, but we do have it. Anytime we spend 1 billion dollars a year on one specific thing like beauty supplies, especially women, right? And then men spend on sports and other things of that nature. So we can't sit and continuously lie and say we don't have the money, because we do. The proof is in the pudding that we have it.
We got the money.
It's the education of the financial literacy and group economics is what we need to learn, that we actually hold the power as a race of people that spends more money with all other races of people except our own.
That's true.
We know that. So the number one where we can start cutting their losses is number one by taking that spending power away from them and upholding our own first, right? When we get that and realize that.
Here's the problem, Patrice. They're going to say you racist. If you stop spending with the Asian community, they're going to say you racist, right?
Okay, but when it comes to okay, and so be that. But are they not that way towards us? Do you see, how often do you see Asians, if you see, or their race of people coming into soul food restaurants or specifically shopping in Black communities or a Black owner, if they ever see maybe like an African shop or a Jamaican shop or any other race of a Black?
Rarely.
Exactly.
Rarely.
But
the thing I guess I wanted to say about that is everything that you're saying is right, sister. The biggest thing, the biggest problem I see with Black people is a lot of times we don't even want each other to be successful. And I live in Pittsburgh, and a lot of Black people are just getting used to the idea of shopping Black. But going to Atlanta was a different experience. That's one of the few places I've ever seen black people lined up to shop black. That's why they're doing better
Yes.
than whatever places are doing economically. Because when you go to Atlanta, it's a totally different world. You might see 5 black businesses in a row, all full of black people that buy. So it's definitely a different world than what is it for. But the biggest problem that the normal black people have is they want to integrate. So anything that goes against the idea of integration, they don't want to do. So we got a lot of humanism going on in our community. So we have to try to like pull that back, because what she's saying is right. We definitely need to focus on buying black. I buy as black as possible. I try to make sure try to keep my money in the black bank. I got some of my money in the black bank. I try to find places to shop at that are black. It's not always easy in Pittsburgh, but there are some places here. So we have enough here that we can start something. And people have been decently supporting. It's been better than what it was, I was saying, like 2005. You know, it's much better than what it is. Not where it needs to be, but it's much better. But I think black people, have gotten fooled into believing into multiculturalism. We're the only ones that believe in that nonsense. No one else believes in it. No one else practices it, but we're the ones running around saying it. And a lot of this comes from the church too, because the black church doesn't even want to deal with black economics. They don't even want to talk about it. They act like it's not even an issue. So that's part of the problem too. And the church is part of the reason why we don't want to get rid of all the gangbangers out the hood, because they God's children too. So it's like we got somebody.
And to your point, what you said about, as far as the crime and the black on black crime, I don't like to use that word because all races have their own race of crime, right? And killings and stuff like that. It's about proximity and opportunity when it comes to that. So there's white on white, there's Hispanic on Hispanic, there's Asian on Asian. It's proximity and opportunity that you're given. Most people that commit crimes against a person of the same race, predominantly they know each other and they're in close proximity of each other. So that I hate when we use that analogy. I get it, but I don't like to use it because I think that's why everybody else uses it against us, is because we use it ourselves on each other, right? So when you're looking at the crime part of it, I agree. There is nefariousness that goes on within our families, our homes, and I agree. There's a certain part of us I do believe that has become very soft and very afraid when it comes to fighting for to help reduce the crime. You got a lot of elderly people, they're scared to say something to the younger generation. Hell, even some not so elderly people are afraid to say things to the younger generation, because you don't know. This 14-year-old boy did have a gun on him, even though he didn't use it, and even though he ended up being deleted off the face of this earth, which I think is wrongly so. The question is, why did the 14-year-old even have a weapon if that is true? 14, you shouldn't be having a gun on you. So it's other things deeper on below the surface that we need to definitely get to as a community and have the conversations on why it so freely are these young teenagers and young adults are banishing and having these weapons in our community to wreak the havoc. It's because, for one, we need to stop the no stitching policy amongst our own. When we know that there are young people that are doing these type of crimes and doing nefariousness in our communities, we need to start speaking up more on that, and we're not doing it. Again, I believe it's a fear. It's a fear monger. We have been made to be fearful of this younger generation, unfortunately. But things like this, again, is going to continue to happen if we are not, at some point fighting back more than just marching and protesting. We have to see change. Laws have to be changed in order for us to become a protected class or race of people. That's the only thing I'm saying. It's deeper things, below the surface that need to be understood. And Black people lack that so much when it comes to group economics, when it comes to financial literacy, when it comes to politics and how it genuinely works. And can work in our interest as a people when you show up, when you get in the faces of said people, when you demand things, when you withhold your funds, when you withhold your votes, when you withhold said things. We don't do that. We become a very Oh, I mean, lull, Lull, like we're in a lullaby state, almost like a sleeping state that we've been put to sleep in and just allow things to happen. And then now we look it up and say, oh my God, look at what, but we have allowed this for years and years and years. So that's the only thing that I'm saying. But those are just some solutions that I think that we can do. You know, as far as when you're talking crime, when we're talking changes, when we're talking laws, you know, but unfortunately for this 14-year-old young man, you know, I guess he realized even with that weapon, he probably at some point was afraid to move forward. And if he had any intentions of doing anything, and this is unfortunately the outcome, but it does not negate the fact that it was flat out, you know, murder what this gas station owner did to him. His back was turned. He was either walking or running away, period.
Yeah, what do you think about that, Diamond X? Do you think that that was justified?
So what happened exactly?
Okay, so this young man goes into this convenience store in South Carolina. Young man, 14-year-old young man, black man, goes into this convenience store owned by the Asians. He goes in there. He's going to buy some water. But as he was about to buy the water or carry it to the counter, words were exchanged. He changed his mind. He put the water back, and more words were exchanged, and he ends up running out of the store. Now, the owners claim they thought he stole something, so they chased him. They got on they got on foot, chased him on foot out of the store, and they say when they caught up to him, he had a gun, and they shot him and killed him in the back. They shot him in the back and killed him. Right. The old Fred Hampton, 57 bullets going the other way, right? Going one way, right? He was shooting at him.
Right.
There's no bullets going this way. All the bullets are going that way, right?
Well, you know what's really amazing is how tolerant black people are of other people doing stuff to us, and we keep making excuses for them. And it's never going to like change until we get to the point where we're no longer going to tolerate. We're no longer going to, tolerate it, and we need not to shop with these people. You know what I mean? But that's the biggest problem. We keep making excuses for these people to keep becoming tolerant of people who are disrespectful to us. And like where I live at, there's a neighborhood where they were, there's a store where they were sex trafficking women out of there, all sorts of stuff. And it's like the hood still was supporting it, and I'm like, I'm not messing with those people. But it's the same sort of thing, man. It's like we're tolerant of other people, but if a black person opened up a store, niggas still ain't gonna shop there. So I just think it comes down to that. If we're going to save any part of our race, we're going to have to, we're going to have to look at, hopefully we can pull this off in the next 20 to 30 years, but we're going to have to, those who want to do the right thing are going to have to separate from those who don't. And it might only be 5% of us. It might only be 10% of us, but I don't, I can't see nothing good, coming out of things being the way that it is. But I've seen too many cases where if a black person opens up a business, they make one mistake, people don't want to shop there, or they don't even want to shop there at all. But in the same sense, Arabs can disrespect, Chinese can disrespect black people, and these niggas will still shop there. And those kind of people, I just don't want anything to do with them. I just, there's a lot of black people I just don't want anything to do with. I just know how they are. This is not worth. And we gotta really be real. Some of our people just are not worth dealing with. Their life is not worth living. It's just not worth it. As far as crime is concerned, what I would really want to do is I would want to put all the gang members in one neighborhood and just let them kill each other. Problem solved. That's the way I see it.
Yeah, that probably would be the best thing, but that's not practical. The practical thing is these people are gonna, no matter where we go as black people, those people are gonna be close behind. So the thing is, either we're gonna have to re-educate them or deal with them in some type of way so that we
extermination.
Well, we can't exterminate them because where do we draw the line at? What happens when people that's more educated than you or me say, you know what, these guys are not that educated. They can't bring us. They can't do anything. We gotta eliminate them, right? Where does
It's not about education. It's about I didn't mean to cut you off, but it's not about education. It's about character. See, my whole thing is there are people who have master's degrees that should be put in the same category as niggas because they're just niggas with master's degrees. So it's not about how much money you make or if you're educated. It's about your intention and your character. Okay. And I understand what you're saying, that they can be far behind us if we want to, but if we say, listen, you can't come into this community. You and you can't come in here. But you and you are good, y'all can come in. So I think that's what we need to get to. And then we're not going to do it tomorrow. That's the only solution that I can see. And I've been thinking about this for years. Only way I can see anything ever changing.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I'm on that everybody can go mentality as well. And that it doesn't matter. It could be a family member, it could be a friend, it could be a neighbor, it could be a stranger. You know, if they own some nefariousness, it's not about the uplifting and empowerment moving forward for our people, right? And even in other groups or races of people as well, because we have allies. So let's be clear, we're not talking about all other races of people are just horrible and racist. No, we're not saying that. And that's not what I'm saying, because I know as a business owner, even though I am a Black woman and have a business, I want their money too, as well, because they want hours. They've been getting hours for years. If I had a business, I would want them to spend with me. If I had that type of business where it could be more universal, because at the end of the day, it's about the green, not the color of who they are, because I have seen some of the most racist people still take our money. So let's be clear. Let's be clear on that.
That shows how stupid we are, but yeah, it's embarrassing.
Okay.
Oh, absolutely.
It's embarrassing.
I have a question for you, Diamond Axe. Okay.
Yes, sir.
You said that these people's lives aren't worth living. And so
they're not.
I have to challenge you on that because
yes, sir.
Because I feel like yes, we have some of our people, man. I don't want to say a lot, so that's a strong word. I would say there's a minority, but a big enough portion of our people that are causing these ill effects, right? They're out here they're on demon time, right? But do you think that, because that's the whole point of the church, is to redeem these people, right? That's the point of the church, the mosque, the temple. That the point is to redeem these people, right? Or at least attempt to redeem these people. Do you think that attempt should be made? Or do you think, or first of all, do you believe that there is a God or there's a higher power or whatever you want to call it that is seeking to redeem people?
That's a good question. And, I don't know if I believe in God. I don't believe in the God of Christianity. I'm sure there's something out there. I just don't know what it is. But I don't think that's really makes a difference. I think what makes a difference is do these people want to be redeemed? And I believe most of them do not want to be redeemed. There are some that do want to be redeemed, but most of them don't want to be redeemed. And here's the thing that's so bad about it. It's not the fact that they don't want to be redeemed. They don't want anybody else to be redeemed. So it's kind of like if the person says, you know what, I don't want to join this gang, they're not going to go, okay. Then they become an enemy. So that's my problem. But see, the reason why I'm saying that their lives are not worth living, because what they're trying to do is they're trying to destroy the Black race. Okay, so it's not just. See, here's the thing: if they decide to say, you know what, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna sell my crack and I'm gonna do my thing, but I'm not gonna bother anybody else. But when these little niggas, this has been going on since the '90s, if not earlier, these little niggas will see somebody walking home and think, hey, you a punk, you this and that. He say something back, then they want to blow his brains out. So those are that's the type of problem that I'm talking about. And it's a situation where people will be like, well, if you ain't joining this gang, then you on the hit list. People have had stories about their house being shot up because they actually wanted to be something in life and they didn't want to be a low life nigga. So some people want to be redeemed and they will listen. So I think the opportunity should be there. But for those who don't, they need to be cut off. And then eventually, I think, at some point, we'll be able to integrate them back into the community. But I don't believe we should allow them to exist in our community. If it was up to me, I would start rezoning Black neighborhoods and creating exec boards or councils that can tell people, you right there, Pookie, You're out of this neighborhood. I don't care where you go. I don't care anything about what you're going through. I don't care. You're out of it. You can't live here no more. You got to leave. Now, if you want to come back, you come back. You do it our way. You do what we tell you to do, and you follow these rules. If you don't want to follow these rules, you got to go. And until we do that, we're going to have the same problem because they're not just out to make a buck. They want to destroy and wreak havoc. They're urban terrorists. They want to beat up people. They want to jump and intimidate other black people. And they're angry. And those who want to do good are the main ones they want to destroy and attack. So the person who's going to become the next, black billionaire, they want to kill that person. If they find out who it is, they want to destroy that person because they don't want to do good, but they don't want anybody else to do good. It's kind of like when someone was telling me a story when they were in jail. Someone opened up a little bit of a community store when they were in jail. They're trading cups of soups, honey buns, and Roman numerals because that's like currency in jail. Right. And someone started to fight with them, not because they wanted to take their place. They ended up getting them moved off of that cell block, and because they didn't want to open up the store themselves. They weren't competing. They just didn't want him. They just didn't want them to have anything. And I'm telling you, see, black people, not all. Oh, sorry, sir. What'd you say, sir?
No, I would like to address that because there's a reason why we are like that. There's a reason why we're like that. Some of us are like that. Well, most of us are like that. We've all been programmed to be like that, and some of us have been fortunate enough to realize it and be able to reconfigure our brains to not be like that and still watch out for that type of programming, right? But our community has been programmed by the music. See, our people are under a spell, in my opinion. They're under a spell. They're hypnotized into this white supremacy, right? So the white supremacy, that's the time they're on because they don't know no better, right? They already know they can't do anything to the Caucasian. So the only other people that they can do something to is them ourselves. We can only do the self-destruction to ourselves. I talked about this earlier in the broadcast. So my thing is, okay, so if we had this issue, right, and like you said, that would make sense if we had the power to enforce that some kind of way, right? If we say, okay, hey, if you're going to play by the rules, you can be here. But if you ain't, then you can't come in here. See, if we could enforce that, that would be a different, we have a different conversation. But
we got to get to that point.
But okay, so my thing is to get to that point, the first thing we have to do is educate, like Sister was saying, we got to educate our people on the things that you got to spend your money, how you spend your money, and looking at your people looking at us as one people. Right now, we look at ourselves as individuals. We don't look at ourselves as one people. The Asians look at themselves as one people. The white man looks at himself as one person. The Latinos look at each other as one person. That's why when they wanted that DACA thing, they shut down. At least out here in LA, when all the Mexicans went out into the streets, they shut down all the hotels, all the fast food restaurants. You couldn't get none of that done that day. Nothing was getting delivered. No banks was open. Nothing. They shut everything down in Los Angeles because they see themselves as one person, whereas black people see themselves as individuals, and we try to always express our individuality instead of congregate and come together and express our unity for the fear of being rejected by the Caucasian, in my opinion.
Yes, that's true. Yeah. Respectability politics.
Yeah, I
go
would
ahead,
agree
I'm
with
sorry.
that. Oh, I'm sorry. I would agree with that to a certain extent, bro plans, but also, again, realizing that all of us are not going to get it, don't want to get it, and those are the ones that should fall by the wayside, in my humble opinion. My concentration is on the people. When I talk to the people, I talk to the people about the people that want to do something about it, that want to get up and move, that want to get up and crack fast forward, right? That want to move forward as a people, as a culture, right? Not the ones that don't. Like, my concentration ain't on the ones that I have no concern about, because they are going to naturally fall off, or, like he said, continue to do the things that they do to cause their own demise, unfortunately, whether it be killing each other and themselves off or end up in prison for a very, very long time. Unfortunately, all of us are just not going to get it, right? And for the ones that do, let's move forward with the ones that do, that are here out here, boots on the ground, 10 toes down, doing the work. Because honestly, that's where the concentration should be, right? On the uplifting of the ones that are doing the work, not the ones that don't want to. They will fall by the wayside. It never
Yes,
fails.
ma'am. Yes, ma'am. You're telling the truth right there. And I guess, I think what the other way of doing things, of trying to get everybody to do the right thing, we've been trying that, I believe, since the 1970s, and I don't think it's been successful. I don't see any success in that because we've already tried that.
Okay, Diamond X, what exactly are you talking about we've been doing since the 70s?
Well, we've been tolerating ghetto nigger bullshit. We've been tolerating black people killing each other because the rate of homicide among black people increased in the 1970s with the heroin epidemic. We tolerated junkies and dope fiends. My whole thing is, the way I feel about it is, if you get hooked on drugs, you go to rehab or get the fuck away from me. I don't want nothing to do with you. You go to rehab or we're done talking until you get clean. If you don't want to go to rehab, then forget about you. You're done. We're done with you. And that's how I feel. That's how I feel to be. And I understand people get hooked on. Don't get me wrong. I'm not sitting here saying that I'm just being cold. But what I'm trying to say is, when things get to that point, it's a situation where it's either we're going to live or we're going to die right here. So what I'm saying is, the problem is we're too accepting of bullshit, to the shit we do to each other. And what's interesting about it is, this nigger behavior is not just with just with black people. It's also the same with African tribes. In Africa, will attack each other. Don't want them to get no power. So the tribalism shit we got it honest from Africa. Okay, we got it honest. That's how we got here, is because of tribalism. That's how we got our asses here in the first place. And what's deep about it is, I saw a documentary in Papua New Guinea, right? There's black people out there in Papua New Guinea, out there by Indonesia. And and a white man came out there and got with a tribe and wanted to build a coffee business. The other tribe that was rivaling with them came in and destroyed their business, just broke down all their stuff and was destroying their coffee business. And I thought to myself, damn, this looks like a bunch of ignorant project niggas. And it was amazing. It was amazing to go that the same problem that happens with black people trying to destroy one another happens in the Caribbean. It happens in Brazil. I can't say as much in Brazil, but in Africa, it happens for sure, where tribes will attack each other and try to go against each other instead of working together. Well, but at this point in the game, I feel like sorry, sir.
I got to qualify that, Diamond X, because I can't let you say that without qualifying it. You're right. What you're saying is correct. But the reasoning behind it, now, what's the reason behind this stuff happening?
Okay, that's a good question. We have not advanced, because we haven't advanced since the last 500 or 1,000 years. We're behind everybody else, because here's the thing. Back in the day, 1,000 years ago, everybody was on some tribal shit. But at some point, the white people realized that, okay, we got to get past that, and we got to take it to another level. Because here's the thing. The French don't like the Germans. The English don't like the Italians. They hate each other. They really don't get along. But they've gotten to a point after World War II. They're like, we're not doing no more of this stuff. We're going to try to have less conflict. So don't get it. So this is not just about black people, because white people had World War I and they had World War II. White people fought each other in Europe more than anybody else. They had more wars in Europe than you can shake a stick at. But the issue comes down to that. What got them on top is they got to a point where they said, okay, we're going to try to work together instead of fighting each other all the time. But shits can still jump off, because the Russians don't get along with the Americans. They can end up fighting. But here's the thing.
Wait. Let me say this. There's two things that put white people in a different category. Two things, right? The first thing is that they don't have a limit to what they'll do to accomplish their goals. Like black people, generally speaking, we have a internal line that we typically, most of us, won't cross to get certain things done. Whereas Caucasian is not built that way, right? Typically, they're willing to do whatever it takes to get things done that they need to get done. So, and I'm talking about in a like you talking about 500, 1,000 years ago. That's how they work, right? So when they met up with the Africans who had a limit to what they had an instant advantage, the Caucasian, right? The next thing that they had in their favor was they're coming into contact with gunpowder. They came in contact with gunpowder and was able to apply it in a way where it was able to be able to be used. So the technology helped them advance militarily, right? So those two things in their favor, having a clear advantage morally without not having these moral boundaries that the Africans had, and then coming in contact with the gunpowder, those two things blew them up, put them in front of almost everybody, right? So
I think kind of.
Well, I mean, before that, Africans had issues, but they always was able to work them out. Yeah, they had wars here and there, but they were able to work things out. Coming in contact with the Caucasian, that's when things got more violent, more bloody, more vicious. So I'm trying to say that lifestyle that the Caucasian came up with was spread to them to where now it's spread to a lot of places all over the world, right? Because white people were enslaving each other. I mean, they were the Greeks had slaves, the Romans had slaves, the Germans had slaves, the English had slaves. The Irish and the English are still fighting to this very day, right?
Yeah, they are.
So they've always been fighting they've always very violent and vicious past, right? So what I'm saying is they spread that around to all of the places that they went, because now we have taken it on, right? And we are good at you give us something, we can pimp it out, right? So we're pimping this evil out. We're pimping this stuff out and doing it. So how can we get it? This is my question, Diamond Axe. How do we get the cat back how do we get Pandora's box back closed? How do we get us? Because I agree with you. You've already said, hey, we need to build these other communities, not let these other people live. Yes, that makes sense if it could be enforced, but right now that can't be enforced. So what can we do today to try to get the ball rolling so that we can encourage our brothers that either you want to be with this or leave us alone? What can we do to encourage that and get that ball rolling?
Well, for one thing, more panels like this. We need to look at building some organizations. Now, me personally, I'm not necessarily the most likable person, so I know I can never lead an organization, but you may be the type of person to do something like that. And if, and I'll leave my email in the chat before I get off of here. So whatever you're doing, keep me in the loop, and I'll keep coming back to this channel because, but I think it all starts with a conversation first, and then you get to, actually organizing. So I think that's step one. I think step number two is we're going to have to deal with our Black pride and understand race pride. Like Marcus Garvey said, we got to put race, first. But I think Black people are starting to see that because after Obama was in there for all those years, and they've seen how white people reacted when Trump got into office, all the hatred and animosity towards Black people still there. Not with all white people, but with some of them, it's still there, just like it was right after slavery ended. So I think Black people are more awake now than they ever could be, and they can't deny certain things because they've seen what's going on. They've seen how certain white people are reacting. They can no longer deny, racism. I think now is probably the best, time in a long time to try to really, move forward. I'm also in the process of writing a book about these sorts of things because we're going to be talking about all sorts of stuff. Oh, yes, sir.
keep us abreast of it, brother. Let us
Oh
know.
yes, when everything is finished, I will. We'll definitely keep you abreast. When I get the book finally finished, then I'm about to have some elders check it out to make sure I know what I'm talking about, and then I'll be able to drop everything else. It may be a couple of years, but I definitely will keep everybody in breast because like I would like to be able to organize, but it's been really hard to get to get people to want to really put the work in. Cause I think we've gotten so soft that we don't want to. That a lot of us don't want to roll up our sleeves and do anything. We just want to talk about it. I was a person who put work in back in the day. Yes, sir.
Right. I mean, and even now I'm putting work in. Here where I am in the state of Arizona, we just formed, and I'm big on boots on the ground. Organizations, committees have to be formed in order to get things done. Like where I am here in Arizona, we have a program that I've joined and become a member of and sit on the board of that is to help reduce teen violence in here in this community where I am in the state of Arizona. So you have to absolutely get involved. And I don't have a child in the world. Listen, my son is grown with children of his own, right? But it just as a part of a person as I was raised that way, as a community person, as a person that have give back. I raised my son that way. But I just believe that we've gotten so far removed from that, right? A lot of community activism, a lot of village, a lot of culturally, right? We've gotten away with a lot of that. And I think that because the lack thereof of that is the reason why we suffer with a lot of things that's happening now, and as well as we have to take some onus and responsibility and accountability on some of these parents and how they're raising these children, or the lack thereof of how they're not being raised properly. There's no one, in the homes, in the communities to step up. We have lost so many resources in our community when it comes to after school programs, when it comes to stopping the violence type of programs that we had in the 80s and 90s, right? We have been a race of people in the community, people that have suffered many losses from the 80s and 90s with the drugs coming into our community. Then of course the gang violence rising, the AIDS epidemic. All these things have predominantly hurt our communities, and we're still literally coming back 30 plus years from these things, by hook or crook, if you will. But on the same token, all of the type of programs like the Black Panther Party program, the breakfast program that I was raised on, I ate many a days, was through the Black Panther Party in the city of Chicago, right? I remember those breakfast programs. I remember being a part of a said community and village. I believe we've lost that a lot, in the communities, and seeing the deterioration of that has a lot to do with the reason why we're in the predicament that we're in now, and becoming very individualism as a people too. It's every man for himself and God for us all, if you will, in my humble opinion.
Well, I I think that we can get stuff done, but I think education is going to be the best. I mean, there's so many things that can be done. Like what brother was saying, it's theoretically it makes sense, but to actually get it done, I think the faster way to get it done would be education, educating our people. I think and squeezing out the rappers and squeezing those kind of guys out there, the Pied Pipers.
Yeah, stop supporting their music. Stop buying the music. Stop supporting this nefariousness that's on reality TV. Stop falling into so much. We have fell into so much. Like I said, we're in a lullaby state, that we have fallen into so much of a lot of the decade, a lot of the degeneracy, watching it over the last, I would say definitely 20 to 30 years after trying to climb back from the 80s drug epidemic and all of these different things that has affected us so very bad in our community, like trying to climb back from all of that. But also to say that too, that if we do not allow ourselves to get involved in something or stand for something. It's other things that you can do if you're not that person. I've said that many times. If you're not that person that is boots on the ground, it's other ways you can give of yourself. You can give financially. You can give by sending a letter or an email. You never know, that can go such a long way of what can be done to help make a difference. And that's what I believe, that we've become Black lazy when it comes to that.
Yes, we have. And something I wanted to say real quick is, in the past, I've been active. I haven't been active lately, but I'm going to, get back into the swing of things. And I appreciate you being active, sister, because we need people like that. And I was active in the past, in my 20s and 30s. I just haven't been active, lately. So I got to get, I got to get back on my feet and get involved with something. I still buy black and I still help out when I can. But as far as like actually being part of something, I haven't been part of something in a long time. So I'm kind of like out here by myself. So I gotta get things figured out, because there's no excuse for me not to be active. I just have to find a way. I have to find a way to make it happen. So that's on me. I got to get that done.
All of us, brother. That's on all of us. Man, we all.
Yes, it is. But I think what's happened to black people is in the 70s, there was a heroin epidemic. They had been trying to infiltrate the black community with heroin since the 1920s, and they weren't successful until the 1970s, with the heroin, being bought into the black community and people using it in mass. But they had been trying to traffic drugs in the black community for the longest. They had been giving black dudes keys of heroin to sell. So then when you had the heroin epidemic in the 70s, you also had the Crips, the Bloods, those gangs started in the 70s. Now the Vice Lords and Gangster Disciple, I think those started in the 1950s, if I'm correct. But they started to use guns more in the 1970s. And then it started to go up in the 80s, and it reached its peak in the early 90s, late 80s. And then it's like we've never quite gotten back to where we were before all of that began to happen. But I think the biggest mistake black people ever made was trying to integrate with white people, because white people didn't want to integrate with us. They may be more friendly to the idea now, but back in the day, most white people were not friendly with the idea of living with or wanting to be around black people. But we wanted to integrate instead of building our own institutions, instead of maintaining what we already had. We chose.
If I may interject, that came through the civil rights movement, of course, too. Like I believe that when, that speech that King gave, because they pushed the integration, forced and indoctrinated us, with that part of the integration, and then realizing that, MLK giving that speech about the two Americas, and realizing and saying that he realized that he had led his people into a burning house. He was specifically speaking about the integration part of it. So, I believe that a lot of our leaders back then, him, Malcolm X, who always wanted to pretty much be separate or separate himself, until he went to Mecca and found out that there were Muslims that were Caucasian that he called brother. So to a certain extent, I believe that, yes, integration hurted us to a certain extent, but we have to know that we were put on this earth and to live amongst each other, period. For those that want to be separated, that's fine. If they feel like they only want to deal with their people, but just know we hold no control and no power over anything. So we would always still have to have some business transaction, some business relationship, something with people that don't look like us. That's just a given.
Hold on. Let me
have no power to anything that controls anything in this world.
Let me do a quick shout out to Black Hawk. Thank you, Black Hawk. Black Hawk gave us a very, very generous Cash App appreciation donation. Thank you, brother. I appreciate you. But don't think we're not going to ask you for that money when we start getting these backpacks. So we appreciate that. Thank you for the Cash App. Thank you, my brother Danique Anthony, for your Cash App. Appreciate all of you guys. Okay, I just wanted to get that out there because I like to acknowledge the people that actually donate money to what we're trying to do here. Appreciate y'all. Okay, y'all.
No, that's good. Yeah, I appreciate him doing that.
realizing that we have to have it, the ones that we do realize that are our allies of other races, because we do have that. We had it even back then during the civil rights movement. We have Caucasian people that were for us, that actually died with us. Some of those stories about the young men that were caught in the car with the black men during the civil rights movement. So we had allies that was with us then and that are with us now. It's not all people. We want to be clear about that, because we have to keep saying that, because people think when we talk
That's
about
true.
white supremacy and racism that we're talking about all white people or all Asian people or all Hispanic people. We're not. We're talking
all
about
black people. We are talking about
a said group percentage of people. Just like when we're talking about our own people with the crime, it's only a said percentage group of those people. But that broad paintbrush gets painted that way because we're having a general conversation. So I just wanted to put that little discretion in there.
Yes, ma'am. You're absolutely right. And when I meant to say I'm not an integrationist, I'm just not an integrationist in the way that it's being that the way black people envision it. The way black people really envisioned integration was they were going to be treated like they were white, and they were going to be just part of the system, like they were going to blend in and turn white. That's how black people really responded to integration. They didn't respond to it as a partner. See, the way that I look at integration is I don't want to integrate on the bottom floor. I want to integrate as an equal partner. So, for instance, if you say that you have to tear down housing in the hood or in the black community to build a stadium, okay, cool. I don't just want to have people become janitors or work in food service. I want Miss Cookie has a restaurant, so you're going to finance that restaurant. You're going to let her put a restaurant inside that stadium. Mr. Mike has a T-shirt business. You're going to let Mike open up his T-shirt business, and you're going to let him sell Pirates gear or Penguins gear or Steelers gear without getting no license. You're going to pay for his license, and you're going to let him sell those T-shirts. And my man Mikey, he got a cleaning business. He's an ex-con. He got a cleaning business, so he wants somebody. We need him to have some of the cleaning contracts. And then we need to look at we need to make profits off of each game. We need to make profits off of parking. And I think that's how we need to look at integration. Because to me, I have an idea of corrective integration and incorrective integration. So here's the thing. So when you integrate to learn something, to go back to the neighborhood and teach it to other people and keep the money and resources rolling there, right? So even if I go to a white university, I go there, I learn chemical engineering, and then I might spend some time teaching it to black people. I still live in the community. I don't just move out the community and marry a white woman and forget about everybody else. And that's what black people wanted to do with integration. So it's not necessarily the integration itself. It's the fact that black people hate them. We hate ourselves. And that's why integration didn't work for us, because we didn't even know how to play it. And one of the things interesting about Claude Anderson was like, what he wanted people to do is he wanted to get the equal amount of money to the black schools, but he wanted to keep the schools black. He didn't want to go to school with white people. So the issue of integration that I have is how black people, want to be up under white people. They want to be around them more than they want to be around other black people. And that's, my problem with it. So what you're saying is right, Mel, that you have to work with others and stuff like that, because no place around the world has all the resources. So the white man has to still work with other people in order to get the resources, that he needs. So what you're saying is right. So black people would have to work with others as well. So I wasn't proposing not to work with others, but what I was proposing is that we kind of scale it back a little bit. That we need to integrate within reason. And I think a lot of black people are extremely confused about how to integrate and when to integrate and when not to integrate. Because to me, I look at it like if I don't want to get a check from Pepsi. I want to own a percentage of Pepsi. If Pepsi is going to do something in the hood, I want to find a way to own a percentage, or I want to be able to make my own Pepsi cans and sell them, or whatever the case may be, and keep all the profits if they really want to help us out. So, so that's
what the Jewish community does in New York, man. If a Target or somebody comes in there, the first thing they say is, okay, this is how it's going down. You can't come in here unless this is happening when you got a certain amount of jobs, and you're giving this much money to the temple, and they lay it out for them. That's the only way you can come in here.
Right,
And
and that's what we have to start doing. And a lot of us are not thinking correctly. Oh, I'm going to cut you off. I'm sorry.
sorry. I want to shout out to Chris Banks. Shout out to Chris Banks, man. Glad to have you in the building, my man. All right, y'all, we gotta wrap up. 2 hours and 19 minutes. I only want to be on an hour, but y'all was
Okay.
cooking. Y'all was cooking, man. So I had to let y'all cook.
Yeah,
So
because I want to get more on that story because I think it's some as it develops more. But just to end it with saying,
I'm
talking
going to take
about.
off, man. Y'all have a good one, okay?
Okay,
right.
you too, Diamond. Thank you, and please come back.
Yeah. Thank you.
Definitely will, man. This is one of the best panels I've been on because other panels will try to disrespect you. You guys have been very accommodating. I appreciate it. You guys have a good one, okay?
Okay, you too.
Appreciate you as well.
All right, that was Brother Diamond. All right, so
How much more of the video was it, bro?
it's probably about 10 more minutes, sis. We got to come back. We got to bring it back.
Okay. Yeah, let's do it because
okay.
Yeah, let's do it because the story definitely is going to continue to develop with this case. But just in closing, just to say, I know that if the young man, he's a boy. I look at it, he's 14. He's not even a young man yet. He's just a teenager, and so very young. Not making any excuses if he did have a gun. That's problematic in and of itself. Like why are young young men and women are carrying guns on them at such a young age is problematic in and of itself. Like I said, there's so many things with us, our culture and our people that are so deeper than the surface, and we can't continuously blame it on no baby daddy in the house, no baby mom. It's a whole thing, right? Like we know that there's need to be accountability for parents. I'm all for that, like because I believe that parenting, everybody can get forward. It's not a natural thing. It don't come with a manual, but a lot of parents out here just suck when it comes to raising their children. They have definitely dropped the ball, and that's men and women. But we can't continuously play the blame game back and forth with it. We know it's a problem. Let's talk about the solution and not continuously go back and forth with the blame game. But do I believe parents need to be held accountable? Yeah, because some kids out here are doing nefarious things. That situation that happened in Chicago with all those teenagers downtown, that was ridiculous. And I think if we start holding parents accountable to certain things, then some of this will cease. And there needs to be definitely more parenting classes, I would say, given as well, because again, a lot of them are dropping the ball. But it's sad that this young man lost his life over 4 bottles of water. These type of things should not be happening when we allow other races of people to set up shop in our communities and we allow to be talked to and treated any kind of way. These are the things that we need to address because this will not be the last of a Latasha Harling type of situation. And now this young man, unfortunately.
So sad. All right, sis, that's your last word.
Yes, sir. Just want to say welcome back. I'm glad you're feeling better and I love you, brother.
I love you too, girl. Hey, did you know that I met you in person?
No,
hey, man, if you guys ever get a chance to meet OG Patrice in person, man, take it, man. It is you will not be disappointed, man. Beautiful sister, man. Beautiful smile, everything, man. All right, Cheryl. Is that it, girl? Is that it? Are we done?
I think that about covers it. Yeah, it's a lot going on in the world, bro. But just
we'll try
everybody
to come back on Thursday. We'll try to come back on Thursday, see if we can wrap this up, and then maybe something else, right?
Okay, sounds good. I'm gonna let you close out, brother. Much love. Salute to the chat. The chat is where it's at. Love y'all much. And thank you for allowing me to come up once again, brother, and give my opinion and views on subjects.
Always. I'm gonna sit you at the card table, the little card table that you know put the kids out at on Thanksgiving. Put you at the card table, but still, this your home, girl. This your home, girl.
I appreciate it, brother. Love.
All right, love you, sis. Peace.
All right, bye.
All right. That's Patrice, y'all. You know I love her so much. All right, y'all. Look, we gotta get out of here, man. I gotta go home. I took my granddaughter to the Little Mermaid movie, man. you know, yesterday. Was it yesterday? Yeah, yesterday. Yeah, she loved it, man. She loved it. And good, man. Support the sister that was in the leading role. Yeah, it was good. It was okay. I mean, I haven't seen the other mermaid movies, but it was okay to me. I mean, you know, my granddaughter loved it. But that being said, it's time to go home, get something to eat, get ready for tomorrow. Y'all see I got this yellow shirt on, so that means I'm back at work. Thank you for the cash apps, but I ain't living off that stuff, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm just putting it back into, yeah, y'all. I appreciate y'all, man. Put some gas in my tank and, you know what I'm saying, helping me out here and there. And maybe I can buy another, I needed to be able to buy another mic cord. So I'll probably get another mic cord, man. But I appreciate y'all's cash apps, man. Y'all really, man, I appreciate y'all so much. But all we trying to do is just get our people and turn them around, man. You know what I mean? You know, I think that we got a big job ahead of us. But for me, I'm just talking about me. That's God's decision who's worth living and who's worth not being here. That to me, that's God's decision. And so I know I can't step in front of him and start making decisions for him. So I'm just gonna do what he told me to do, was to extend the hand. You know what I mean? And those that want it is here. Those that don't, I'll kick the dust off my feet. Chris Banks said, I saw you, Chaotic Channel, and I had to subscribe. You saw me and Chaotic going at it. Chaotic is, man, underneath all that bullshit, man, Chaotic he's actually all right dude, man, underneath all of that crap that he got going on, man. He's actually, we talk behind the scenes sometimes, but, you know, Chaotic's a good dude behind this, you know, up under all of that drama that he got going on, man. You know, but a lot of these cats don't want you to know that I'm good with them. So I'll just leave it out there. Like we like me and E Black and Chef and all that. Everybody thinks that we had this contentious relationship. Daryl, we had these contentious relationships, but Sir Hale and all that. We a lot of times we talk behind the scenes. So you know, but anyway, but yeah. So what y'all think? Black people wilding out now. So what does this mean? I wanted to talk to y'all about the debt ceiling. I might talk to y'all about that and what that means for us as Black people. What does the debt ceiling mean for you? What does this debt ceiling deal mean for you? Right? Because now they saying for you to get help from the government, you got to work 20 hours a week if you over 50, right? You got to go to work. Let's say you can't work because you got an injury. Are you gonna lose your benefits because you can't work? What's going on, right? They're saying if you getting WIC or any government assistance, I would say any, but the usual government, your food assistance, monetary assistance, they're saying you got to work. They're saying they saying okay. The Republicans saying you gotta go to work, man. You got to work 20 hours a week at least, right? Before we're gonna give you this supplementation. Ouch. Ouch. Some of our people, ouch. The small minority of our people that's trying to run game on the system, they're gonna make the rest of them pay. But hey, that's a whole conversation for another day. Today's conversation was our people are going crazy. So watch out. Watch out there, right? Black people have an enchantment on them. What do you mean, Clarence? I mean, they're not on purpose like this. Black people are not on purpose like this. We're not crazy like this on purpose. We're like this because we have been enchanted. We've been enchanted with, oh, if you get money, you know, we've been enchanted with the chasing of the money. We've been enchanted with people will love me more if I got more money. They'll love me more if I got this car. They'll love me more, right? If I got the right kind of friends, they'll love me. If I'm in this club, they'll love me. If I'm driving this car, they'll love me. If I got this house, they'll love me more. If I got this boat, if I can fly all over the place, they'll love me more. Right? Would they? Kevin Samuels had Rest in peace, had over 1 million subscribers. The people didn't love him no more than if he had 100. Right? A couple people went to his funeral. That's it. Right? The vultures are stealing his content and getting paid off of it right now. They're getting paid off his content right now. They're cutting it up and getting paid off of it. So having millions, having subs don't mean you're going to get love. Having money don't mean you're going to get love. That doesn't mean people love you. Well, how can them people love me, Clarence? I want to be loved. Be loving. Love your brother like you love yourself. We got a saying in the nation. What I want for myself, I want for my brother. What I want for myself, I want for my brother. If I got a bean pie and you hungry, you got a bean pie. You my brother, you got a bean pie. Right? What I want for myself, I want for my brother. That's difficult because Negroes don't feel that way. Niggas don't feel like that. Niggas got too much wolf in them, man. They look at somebody and they say, he got something better than mine. I want it. I'm going to get it. I'm going to figure out a way to catch him when he's at his weakest point and get it from him or her. Right? These people are out here, bro. I believe Brother Diamond X. These people are out here. They're out here. So what we got to do, y'all, we got to watch out for them. We got to help the ones we can and be weary of the ones that we can't. Some of these people going to be in your family. They're going to be family members, man. And you're going to have the unfortunate obligation of either cutting them loose or letting them pull you to the ground. Sorry, I tell you, I've had some. I had a very close family member. I had to just let it go. I had to go let that person go. There was nothing but drama. And you know what? As the years go by, I feel like, man, wow. People would say, you need to reconcile with that person. I said, I can't do it. I'm not gonna have a relationship with somebody because I'm blood related to them where I'm being abused. I'm not gonna do that. Just so you could say, I put them back together. No. You want that relationship, you go have it with that person. I'm not gonna be abused by nobody. Nobody. I don't care. Even if I was single and if I was dating black women and I couldn't find one that wouldn't abuse me, I would definitely open up my eyes to other options. Definitely. If I was a female, the same thing. I would definitely open my options. If I was dating black men and I couldn't seem to find one, and I know I'm doing them right, I know I'm doing them good. Hey, I'm just not attracting the kind of black man that will want to do. Okay, maybe somebody else might appreciate what I'm doing. It's time to be smart, man. It's time the time for no, don't get me wrong. It's time to be, we want to be loyal when it comes to our people. Definitely, we want to have some loyalty to our people, man. But loyalty does not trump abuse. It just does not. So we got to be smart with our money. We got to work together with our money, even in business with each other. You doing business with somebody because they black. You do business with good black people, not just a person because they black. No. I'm not telling you to do that. You do business with somebody if they black, if they're a good business person. If they're not a good business person and your only other alternative is somebody who's not black, then of course you gotta, you know what I mean? You gotta Do what you can do. It ain't hardly no black supermarkets. So you got to go to the white supermarket. What can you do? Not get food, right? Shout out to Mr. Watkins, man. Appreciate you, man. Another generous cash app, man. What's going on with y'all, man? I appreciate y'all, man. I really do, man. I really do appreciate y'all, man. But Mr. Watkins, we still gonna ask when we try to get these backpacks. But I appreciate you cash apping now, man. I do. I really do. I appreciate all of you guys for cash apping, man. Chris Banks said, "Who is your people? Americans? My people is the people that want to do right. That's my people. My first people is black people, man. That's the person like this is imagine Chris Banks, imagine America is a triage room. It's a ER room. It's an emergency room, right? America is an emergency room, right? And we triaging people, man. We triage. You evaluate who's in the worst shape, and you deal with that person first. That's what I'm saying, Chris Banks. I'm the triage philosophy. Black people, we in the worst shape, so I'm gonna deal with us first. Once we get us under control, then I can go to the headaches and the knee scratches and the mosquito bites. But I can't take somebody who needs, a heart transplant and make them wait so I can get to this person that got an aspirin, that got a little cough. Do you understand? That's all I'm saying, Chris. That's all I'm saying, man. It's nothing to do with, this person is better than this person. No, it's simply these people are in the worst shape, right? If we went to the scene of a car accident, the person that was in the accident that was able to get himself out of the car and was holding his head going, ow. And then there's somebody stuck behind the wheel where the steering wheel had him pinned into the seat. We'd be trying to get that person out, right? That's the person we would run to. Black people are those people pinned to the seat. We trying to get them out first. Then we can get to the white people with the headache, right? The Asians with the skint elbow, right? Our Latino brothers and sisters with the skint knee. We can get to them. But the black people, look, man, we're the ones up under the car. Got to pull us out first. So that's all I'm saying, brother. We'll help anybody. I don't care what your color is. If you in the right spirit, if you got the right spirit, and you about doing right, and you cool, hey, we help anybody, no matter what your color is, whatever. That ain't my big issue. My big issue is helping the people that's in the most trouble, which I recognize as our people, man. When I say our people, I mean black people. Where there is no closet for us. We cannot be in no closet. No offense to the alphabet community, but there is no closet. There's no place to hide. There's no mountain you can hide on. There's nothing you can. You are acknowledged from birth. So that's what I mean when I say our people, man. And we seem to have the most issues financially, spiritually, emotionally. So therefore, we need, and we are affecting the whole world with our issues. If we could get our issues in order, we could take a lot of the pressure off of the world by showing them that God is real. That we can show them that things can be turned around if you so desire. You feel me, Chris? I know you understand what I'm saying. So I don't want to make it just it's just a black and white thing. It's really not. It just is because it was made like that. And unfortunately, we gotta back it. We gotta back it out like that. But it's not like it was us and we hate them and they hate us. And no, I'm sure it's a certain portion of them that don't like us. It's a certain portion of us that don't like them. That's natural. That's normal, right? There's gonna be kickback on both sides. That's normal. There's a small percentage. Most black people don't have no problem with white people. Most white people really don't have no problem with black people. We just want to be left alone and live our lives, right? Most of us. But there's going to be some of us that just because your skin is white, I don't like you. Just because your skin is black, I don't like you. I'm not in that crowd. We're not. Well, no, most of us here, we're not in that crowd, right? We're in the crowd that, hey, we see who's under the car. That's us. So we want to pull us out. Now, if we can help anybody else in that process, cool. But we going under the car. I'm going to get to Jack and jacking the car up. Now, other people would say, look at this person, they got a headache. We need to help them. Why are we helping this person under the car? They wasn't going to be nothing but a drug dealer anyway. So why should we help them out of the car? That's not our decision. That's not our job to decide whether they work. We was, what I'm saying, I was asked, at least me, I was asked to try to help as many of them as I could. So that means I got to get up under that car. So here I am. And I hope hopefully the rest of y'all, in y'all own way, in our own way, we getting up under that car, right? In our own way, right? Chris, you out there doing whatever you do, right? Even just hollering at one of these young kids, man. Just pull a young kid, give him about 5 minutes a game, and let him go, right? Because we all ain't got time to be giving away backpacks and giving away this. We all ain't got time for that, right? Some of us, we got the money, like you guys donated, right? Some of you guys donate the money to me. I'm gonna put it to good use, right? But really, we gonna go after y'all later and go ask y'all for some more money for some more backpacks and another computer. Right? We gonna do that this year. Just telling you. Just telling you, right? But we got a track record. We asked for money. We got it. We did it, right? So my point is this. Everybody can't do everything, right? We just do what you can. Each one, teach one. Each one, teach one. If we all just teach, but now here's the last thing I'm gonna say, and I'm gonna put this to bed, y'all. It's the last thing I'm gonna say because I was supposed to leave out of here 10 minutes ago. Last thing I'm gonna do, and I'm gonna put this to bed. We as black men, this is on us. The whole world is waiting on the black man to come out of this trance. The whole world. The black man, you in a trance, you following your extremities around, right? You in a trance. We got to get you out of this trance. See? You've been following your loins around. And we got to pull you out of this trance, man. Ain't nobody, the black woman won't follow me. The black woman will. Man, I'm going to tell you. She waiting on you. She waiting on you. Black woman waiting on you, man. To step your game up, to step in there. Soldier up. She waiting. You got to worry about her. You got to worry about nobody. All you got to do is just get out. We got to get out there, man. We got to get out there and start each one, teach one. First thing you got to take care of is your home. You got a son at home? Start teaching your son, right? Thank you, brother. Appreciate you, brother Chris. You got a son at home, man. You got to start teaching your son. I'm not just talking to Chris. I'm talking about all of us, right? You got to teach your son. You got to teach your son. Then you start from your house, your son, your daughters, your wife, and then from there out. If everybody just take care of their family, that'll be another deal, right? But some of us have children in different places, right? Okay, we do. So we got to try a little harder to try to teach them, right? Because it's our responsibility. Oh, but Clarence, see, I'm trying to, you know what I'm saying? It's all these honeys out here, man. I'm trying to deal with these honeys. Okay. That's our downfall, right? We're not putting enough time into our children. And unfortunately, America's paying the price for it. We're paying the biggest price for it because why? Our children are running amok. Our children are crazy, man. Our children are carrying, 14-year-old boy carrying a pistol, a loaded pistol. 14-year-old boy carrying a loaded pistol. getting on the bus and pulling it on somebody. You can tell he ain't got no daddy, because the daddy would have said, boy, don't you ever pull this pistol unless you pulling the trigger. You don't pull this pistol out and not pull the trigger. Hell, my father taught me that. I said, man, I'm going to give me a BB gun. He said, what you going to get a BB gun for? What if the other person got a real gun? He said, boy, don't you ever pull a pistol on nobody and not pull that trigger. If you pull it out, you better use it. Young boy kind of got on the bus, didn't pull the trigger, because he has at least he had enough sense to realize this was a stupid situation. He wanted to just intimidate the man. Man start bust a cap in his behind, right? See, this world is crazy, man. This world is crazy. It's absolutely, brother Chris, appreciate you. This world is crazy. So we got to start somewhere. We got to start somewhere, y'all. All right, y'all, we got to get out of here, man. So I'm going to shut it down, man. We probably be back on Thursday after I get off of work, of course. Y'all see me in a yellow shirt. I'm just like you. God, Clarence said, you making all this money off these cash apps, man. You living real, man. You living good. Yeah. But I sure appreciate the cash apps, though. Thank you. I sure appreciate you. But yeah, man, you know, I ain't got there yet, man. I'm still working. I'm going to work like you, man. So I got to make time for all this. That's why I got to get out of here, man. I got my family. I got to make some time for my family, right? Patrice said it's not the world, it's the crazy people in it. That's true too, Patrice. That's true too. But you know, it's still, man, it's still such a wicked world, man. World's so wicked, man. You send your children out. I don't care how good you raise your children. Send your children out in this wicked world. They can get caught up, man. Anybody can get caught up in this wicked world. Anybody. I don't care how long you've been in church, how long, 20 years, deacon, everything. And you go out to get some bread, man. You see a girl half her behind hanging out. She walking down the street. You, in a moment of weakness, man, next thing you know, man, you in a hotel room somewhere doing something you ain't got no business doing. With somebody you ain't got no business doing nothing with except telling them about the Lord. Right? But you ain't telling them about the Lord at that time, right? You ain't telling them about the Lord. Anyway, y'all, let's get out of here. Let's get out of here. Thank you, Brother Chris. Appreciate you, man. All right, let's do the rundown, man. Let's get out of here. First of all, the chat is where it's at. The chat is where it's at. Shout out to the chat. Thank you, everybody who joined in the chat. Appreciate you, man. We got our sister Risa Neal running that chat. Appreciate you, sis. She's always keeping that chat squeaky clean. Appreciate you. And when we say squeaky clean, then we don't mean you can't challenge us. Challenge us. We don't care. Just that we ain't gonna get disrespectful. That's all. Ain't nobody gonna win. We ain't by all that disrespect and all that. You know, some places, unfortunately, that's part of the business with them. You know, they have to go through that. You know, and we went through that period in time. You know, but at a certain point, you know, people that do stuff like that, man, you got to let them know that they're not welcome to do that here. You know, it's not you. It's just that you're not welcome to be here if you're gonna be doing that. So they would just dismiss themselves most of the time if you let them know. But anyway, man, shout out to everybody in the chat. Everybody was on their best behavior, man. Good job, everybody. Appreciate y'all, man. The chat is where it's at. Very strong performance from the chat. Very solid performance from the chat. Let's do the rundown. Who was on the stage today? Who was on the stage? We had the Intellectual Soapbox. Shout out to the Intellectual Soapbox. If you hold on. If you haven't already subscribed to the Intellectual Soapbox, get on over and subscribe to the Intellectual Soapbox and check him out, man. Brother's trying to, you know, put together some good content. You know what I mean? But, you know, get on over there and check him out, man. Give him a shot. See if that's the kind of content you are good for. But the Intellectual Soapbox came up, man. You know, what I like about him. He don't always agree with me, but he always got good takes. And, you know, man, always has a good position. And, you know, is willing to defend that. I appreciate him for that, man. Shout out to Intellectual Soapbox. Go check out 84 over there on the Intellectual Soapbox. What about Patrice? What about OG Patrice? What about Crazy Girl? The Crazy Girl. What about her? That's my sister, right? Yeah, man, we missed her. But she got good. It was good to see her back. Good to holler at her. But she sent me something. She said, Clarence, we should talk about this. I said, okay. But so I didn't have it right away, so I had to go to that other clip. But she's right. If I'd had it right away, we would have talked. We would have just spent the whole time talking about that. But we'll talk about it next time. We'll talk about it next time. I keep forgetting to send everybody their links. Please forgive me, y'all. Please forgive, because I'll be forgetting to send it to Rico. And so when Rico's the first name, so I just forget everything. So I apologize. I'm gonna do it next time for sure. For sure. But shout out to Patrice, man. A very strong performance as always. Very strong performance as always. Very solid performance as always, man. Who else was on the stage? We had a new brother, Maiden Voyage, man. Brother Diamond Axe came up here, man. Outstanding job, man. Maiden Voyage, holy smokes. Outstanding job, man. Outstanding job. You know what I mean? Very, very intellectual brother, man. Very smart brother, man. You know what I mean? Had a lot of good takes, man. Hopefully the brother come back, man, and we can have a dialogue, man. You know, brother had some good ideas. I was just questioning the structurality of it. How would you structure something like that and making something like that happen? So, but I didn't think he had a bad idea on the table. So, shout out to Brother Diamond X. Very strong performance, very solid, very solid. If I didn't get Patrice, very solid performance from Patrice as always. Very strong and very solid. Same thing with the intellectual soapbox. Very strong and very solid. Okay, everybody, Patrice says she can still hear me. Right. All right, y'all. We will be back on Thursday. I'll try to be back. I'm getting stronger, y'all. When I first started back working, I was like, man, I hadn't worked in like 4 years, right? so getting back on the plantation, man, was tough for me. But I'm getting stronger. Man. I'm doing a lot better. So yeah, man. So we will come back on Thursday. We have a better topic. We might finish up. I told Patrice we'll finish this one. So we'll finish this one, and then we'll get into something else too. All right, y'all. See y'all on Thursday. Thank you, everybody. Thank you for the cash apps. Appreciate all of you guys. Black Hawk, Danique, Anthony, and I think somebody else gave a cash app too. Mr. Watkins. Thank you, brothers. I appreciate y'all, man. Thank y'all for y'all generous cash apps, man. Appreciate y'all. All right, y'all. We out of here. We'll see y'all on Thursday. Thank you.